Well, grab a seat, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
D and Davis, the flip. We are back and we are loaded. I'm going to let D run down the rundown on who's in the house tonight or today. We got a lot to get into. We're definitely going to talk about Jay-Z and the NFL. We're going to give our review on Chance's album. Talk a little bit about Crazy Girlfriends and Mike Tyson and his 40K worth for weed. And we got a bunch of other topics that we're going to jump into. My name is Kenneth Davis, and the next voice you hear is
D, the Monster World. What's going on, everybody? Hey, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D and Davis Show. Once again, it's at D and Davis Show. iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Music, Stitcher, the TuneIn app, WARR on Anchor, what kicks you over to Spotify and YouTube. All right, we're also on Facebook.com. Facebook.com/D and Davis Show. I'm on Twitter at Demons1, DEMONZE1. Ken is on Twitter at That's Davis. Executive producer of the D and Davis Show and D and Davis The Flip on Mr. Ryan Bukoveski. Ryan's on Twitter at Ryan B. Ski. All right, we got a packed house in here, so I hope I get all this right. All right, we got Tony Gill. He's on Twitter at TonyGill670. Got Sidney Brown. He's on Twitter at SidKid80. We got Guy Stevens. He's on Twitter at Pay the Guy. Melvin Taylor, he's on Twitter at Melvin Taylor II, and Joshua Hicks, he's on Twitter at JHicks042.
Good job.
Good job, D.
All right. So, look, a couple weeks ago, or maybe 3, Chance's album dropped. What is it, the big day? The bad day. Bad day. That's what the streets say. I don't think it was terrible. Let me say that first. My caveat. I didn't think it was terrible. I actually thought he made it for an older audience, which I don't think he should have. I compared it when me and Tony was talking about Kobe on like old school MTV True Life or Real Life, whatever that show was. And he had this is when he just got married to Vanessa, and he was saying like, "Hey girl, stay away. You see, I got this ring on his finger." And I was talking about young people trying to grow too fast and kind of getting caught in certain situations. To have SWV and In Vogue on there was maybe a little bit too much. Like I say, it's like, are you making this album for us old folks, or like who is this album being made for?
Because how old is Chance? 27?
Maybe. He get right around
27, 28 maybe?
I don't think the lyrics were trash. Me personally, I don't think the lyrics were trash.
There's some songs on there.
Yeah, man, I'm not saying every song had tight lyrics to it or whatever, because that was my worry that lyrically he wouldn't be sharp. Now again, I wasn't someone, and me and Tony's discussion, I never looked at him as being like he's gonna be one of the top 3 rappers out in the game. I've never looked at him. I've been a fan since acid rap. I've really enjoyed him, but I wish he would get out of his own lane sometime, because the last 2 albums with the gospel infusion, when you talk about Coloring Book, what was the one with the trumpet player?
Surf was hard.
Yeah, but I want him to kind of get out of that lane. But to me, it was straight. I think the biggest thing was when the disappointment was when he came out on Twitter talking about people wanting him to commit suicide, and that's when it was just like, slow your ass down right there. But that was just my 2 cents. Go ahead, T.
Tony? Yeah, you can go for it.
About what?
Chance album.
Oh.
Because I would say this much. I think out of all of us in here, 1, 2, 3, 4 you all, Chance is kind of like right in y'all wheelhouse, right? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that hip hop that y'all was listening to as y'all was coming up. I mean, I like Chance. He's cool, but I've never been like a huge Chance fan. I just think he's okay. So I mean, I'm sure you get more in depth breakdown of Chance.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
It was too long.
It was a lot of tracks.
Too many tracks.
Yeah.
Again,
21,
Chance
22?
lyrics, they were subpar.
But has he ever been like a lyricist to you though?
And to a small degree, he dabbled.
He's I
needed
he's
more.
Very agile. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's one of those, like, lyrically, he's very agile.
Okay.
I mean, his name is Chance the Rapper. Like rap.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
I mean, a lot of, like, he's an okay singer. He sang a lot. He's an okay singer. He's not the best singer.
Okay.
Again, I think he just missed his target. He missed the target audience. If you just look at just the raw data of the age group that he's most listened to, they're not married. They don't have everything together. And again, it sounded a bit preachy on his end.
He trying to
like,
help
it's
y'all
cool.
out.
It's cool that you love your wife, but I mean, me and Ken discussed it too. It's like, okay.
I compared it.
okay.
I'll give you an example.
All right.
I compared it to Tony to this one time. D said to me, like he hinted at something that him and his wife had some love and passion, and I was like, D, don't nobody want to hear that shit.
What was this?
This was years back. You was like, man, last night it was. Yeah, for real. This is like back when we was in the old studio. You was like, yes. He was like, man, some. I was like, damn, I don't want to hear that shit. Sounds like hearing your parents is fucking.
I don't remember
Ain't nobody like, oh, tell me more.
I do not remember that.
But I mean, one song, maybe two, but after the first couple, it's like.
I don't want to hear about her ass no more.
Right, it's like it's cool, but I don't want to hear an entire. And then on top of that, he got out rapped on the features, which is embarrassing.
On every feature,
yeah, which is embarrassing. Like you can't have that, and it just wasn't a good collection of music. It's his worst by far that he's put out. I hope he learns from it and not, delve into it like he did on Twitter. About people wanting to kill. Like, no, like it's not, people want you to kill yourself. It's just, why can't we be critiqued of your work and still like you? I still like Chance as a person. Seems like a cool dude. I don't know him personally, but I know people around, people that hang out with him. He seems like a cool dude. But you just didn't put out good work this last one. It's okay.
All right. Melvin?
I didn't like the album either. I thought maybe you could have kept 5-6 of the songs that was on there at most to me.
More than that.
Because the album had 22 songs. Like I said, he got out-rapped on every feature that he had on there.
Can we break down the features? Who's all on the album?
You had the Baby on there. Nicki Minaj was on there twice. Gucci was on there. Lil Durk was on there.
His brother didn't out-rap him.
Yeah, his brother didn't out-rap him.
And then I'll say this much.
I put John Legend singing was better than him rapping.
I love the Baby. The Baby is one of my favorite new rappers. I felt like the Baby tried to step out of his lane, and I was talking to Tony and be political. He was like, yeah, because I'm a black man in America. He's like, wait, what the fuck? You thought coming on this was the place for you to get intellectual? I'm rapping with Chance. I'm about to get deep on these motherfuckers. Like,
I like.
After we've seen you beat up a person
and kill
somebody in Walmart.
Hey, look, he still did better than Chance to me on this album.
Meg the Stallion.
I felt like this. Meg killed it on this album too. Let me not forget this. Yo,
dog, Invoke and
that's what
was on this joint.
It goes back to what Ken was saying. It was like I didn't know who he made this album for, because when I first listened to it, I was like, this ain't for people that's our age. Nope. This not for people that's older than us. You made this for everybody that's 17 and younger. Is what it felt like. This album to me. At least the sound. Listening to it and going through the sound, I was like, this was nowhere near what I was expecting. And that also made me think of when Groceries first dropped. I didn't even know it dropped. And then when it dropped, I was like, the first 20 seconds, I was like, no, if this is what we're going to get on the album, I don't want to hear this whatsoever. Because Chance was the person that he can walk that fine line of, I can talk about God, but still say nigga as much as I want and be perfectly fine, because he can walk that road. On this album, it was, I'm just going to talk about God, my wife. And that was just too much of it for me. You're not even old Lecrae, bro. Don't do this. Don't do this.
All right, Josh?
Yeah.
And Josh loved this album, guys.
I did not say I love the album, okay?
Praise God.
I didn't say I loved the album. I said I thought it was decent. I guess for me, though, is because I have, on the side, I do a lot of mentoring with a lot of younger guys in high school. Yeah. So when I'm talking about, talking to these young guys about how to get their lives together and everything, I'm literally talking what Chance preached for the most part within that album.
Loving their wife?
No, not necessarily. Besides that, like the fact of.
Let me tell you, little niggas, something. Y'all need to get married. I know you 15, but this shit is gonna benefit you. Stay out in the streets.
What to look forward to in that aspect, and I kind of have an older soul, being a young guy, so I can relate to that stuff a lot more, and I kind of like that type of vibe. When I want to get married, bro.
Damn, Tony, why you saying it like that? Coming from a happy home.
I know, right?
Shit, my parents separated when I was 4 or 5. You dissing it and shit. Go home and kiss your mama and your dad, then be like, I want the rest of y'all motherfuckers to be single and don't have nobody. S.O.B.
Yeah, but I kind of liked the way he described. Now, to what Mel and Tony said, I think it was definitely more for that older age or different age group. Mm-hmm. But I viewed it as someone that's within that age group has something to kind of look forward to around that age. Because when you're 25, 20, 27, you want to get your own life together. You want to have your own stuff, grow as a man, and then eventually, if you really want to be married is part of that concept. Marriage is part of that concept.
Right.
And for him to actually live through that and actually want that and desire that is a lost art for our generation, I feel like. And because of that, I feel like he was kind of promoting that and saying there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of viewed it as that, but I don't think the whole album was, oh my God, it's to die for. I gotta listen to this all the time. I thought it was just decent for maybe the angle he was trying to get at, even though it didn't reach the target audience he probably would have wanted.
Ryan, did you listen? Did you? All right.
I'm not talking about that trash.
Well, this is this is.
Yeah, what about Guy? Guy, did you check it out?
No, I said no.
Well, give him the mic. Give him the mic. Do you like Chance the Rapper?
I like this old stuff, but I heard this one was trash, so I didn't waste my time.
Wait. Who told you it was trash? Where'd you hear it was trash from?
I got on Twitter. People said
Okay.
it was trash.
Okay.
You guys said it was trash.
You saw the video like, I love my wife.
I didn't hear any of the songs on the radio or anybody talking
They're
about
not
any
gonna
of the
be on the radio.
songs. So I was like,
Maybe the SWV joint.
So if nobody's listening to it, I mean,
They're not gonna be
it's
on the
point of
radio.
me wasting my time.
Could he be
He just
making
missed.
music? Like, as you all have said, like, okay, he missed his target audience. At certain points, sometimes though, if some artists they just start making music for them, could they just be? Could this album?
Well,
just be
obviously
something
he didn't
made
feel
for
that
him?
way. He thought all of us was gonna rock with it.
And yet,
I mean, any artist to put something out, you think your fans are going to like it,
And
but
to-
sometimes they say,
you're right.
like make music
but
for me.
don't make your first studio, quote unquote, studio album.
Right? Yeah.
Your love passion to yourself and your wife.
This
Like,
could have been
do a mixtape for your wife.
Right.
The studio joint. Because this is one thing I say. He needs to, and we talked about the Crit situation. Crit maybe only making one beat on this last album or whatever.
Yeah.
He needs to let someone do the music for. I need to hear him on boom bap, real hip hop beats. I would love to. Not Kanye. I want him with
Premier?
I said Premier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my Alchemist being there. I wouldn't mind. What's his name? What's his name down south?
Metro.
Metro Boom.
Oh, Metro.
I love him. Like I want him.
Southside, maybe?
Give me some of that. Give me that,
Yeah.
and you just go off of it. Don't spend all this time trying to create a picture around this.
agree.
But this is the thing, though, when artists get to a point and they start
And
making
too many
something,
features, too.
They kind of go. They don't typically go back. They usually kind of keep evolving, even within them. But what they want, they typically don't go back to what you want.
But that's my thing.
Though.
He was walking the line better than anybody else was.
I agree with that.
but
So
here's-
why did you
I
just
agree
choose
with
a side? You didn't need
I
to.
guess when he got married, he chose that side though.
But
I
When
guess
he got
so.
married, he said,
I guess so.
I'm
Yeah.
jumping
I
like
guess
I'm not.
so he
walking
ain't got
the line,
no more problems then, I guess. So he good now.
he'll have
He got, well, clearly with his album, yeah.
In the next 5 years, you gonna get that album just because fuck her. This
Yo,
shit's-
look, if we get a confession / breakup album from Chance, I feel like it's gonna be fire.
No one-
it's not even about being positive, in your rap and inspirational. Because if it's good, it's good. We just got done talking about that NF album.
No, we didn't. You talk.
You talked about that.
But
You
I
talked
will
about
no,
that.
no, no.
But
But
I will say though,
talking-
I listened to it as I was doing some landscaping work outside in the backyard.
Oh, no, we know why you listen to it.
Why I listen to it?
Because once you heard he sounds similar to Eminem, you was like, oh
I
shit.
told y'all.
Is he white? Is he white? Does he sound like Eminem? I need it in my life.
I'm a fan.
Bibbity
So.
bappity, bibbity bappity, skibbity bappity, like.
Whenever he got mad on that album or started rapping fast, I was like, this is too much Eminem for me, dog. I'm cutting this off.
He does sound a lot like him. He does. Go ahead.
I don't.
But I mean, but his album was number one,
It was.
and I can see. When I was listening to it, I was like, oh, I can see.
You can see
Because
why.
of that
people-
Eminem fan base that Eminem missing that NF tapped into.
It was the super clean
going
version
nowhere.
of Eminem.
Yes.
It is a very clean version.
Yes.
Of
You know,
Super
just like
clean.
with Eminem, you know they're turning out, Tony. All right, they're turning out. He says he sounds like Eminem. It's Christian, but Eminem. All right, we'll
You
be.
you got entire states that are probably dedicated to that man at this
I know
point.
that shit goes in Utah.
Oh my God. Every Utah Jazz game. We got NF performing at halftime.
But that dude has had like 3 #1 albums.
I didn't even know that.
three
from
numbers.
one of the lyrics he said on his song, on one of the songs, the one before this was the one that went #1, and then this one went #1. So
Okay,
probably
so
two.
two.
But that third one might have dropped up. Say it
Who is he
again.
going up against?
Chance.
Yeah, but again,
Chance-
remember,
you're right, Chance.
this is the thing. Chance has been giving his music away. So you're not going to get your fan base to just buy your music when you've been giving it away for free all this time.
Disagree from the standpoint of if this album was fire, people would have supported it.
I'm not saying that they wouldn't have supported it more, but you would never. Someone that's always giving them something away for free isn't like someone that was always selling their stuff. Because you're inclined to be like, dude, you've been dropping this, you've been giving me quality. I have had to pay for it. I appreciate it.
And the stuff we got to pay for is not quality.
Right. It might hurt them. It might hurt Chance in the long run. I mean,
this next one. I don't think this next one better be it.
His next project just has to be great.
Yeah, I'm talking about from the music.
That's a lot of pressure.
Him as an artist, him as a person, he's fine. He's good. He's good. I'm talking about as far as the album. I mean, his fan base from the sounds of it did not like this album. You gotta be able to back it up.
What was your rollout? Was your rollout getting engaged?
No.
Was your rollout getting married? Like there was no roll. You put up posters everywhere. You was on every show.
Like the blank CD with
right. You had for 3. We saw you everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
You just bought the Chicagoist. You did nothing with that for this album. Where was all of that?
But you know what?
You popped up on Jimmy Fallon
if
once.
He hasn't done anything with the Chicagoist and he used it just to promote his album. Because when we were talking about, it was like the ultimate. If he would have just been like, turn on the Chicagoist, I'm about to drop this album. Then that shit went dark again.
Correct. But that's why I was like, this should have been here's the launching point, and now we're gonna roll out. But I agree. Had you just did it for your album, then I would have been like, that was cheap.
See, it also goes to the point of going too fast. The Chicagoist, for instance, he's not ready to do anything really. He doesn't have the time probably to really do something with it right now.
Why not?
And so it's easy to say like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do all this stuff, dude. It takes time. Trying to rush all the time is to take your time. Sometime I was talking to Tony about his growth and how quickly Tony has ascended, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay sometimes where it's not moving as fast. You don't have to always try to rev that engine up. Sometimes it's okay to let that bad boy purr a little bit because you're already way ahead of schedule. He's going too fast.
Yeah.
Slow down and look. What's the LeBron thing? What's LeBron's statement as far as stick with the first job, Tony?
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing. All right. You're too early in your rap career for rap not to be the main thing still. Like you haven't even established, and we could say, depending on how we look at mixtapes, but we can say, you could say, and I would say to me, acid rap is a classic. But a lot of people haven't even listened to acid rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people haven't. Like, so as far as your discography, it's not like you have this solid discography that can't be shot up and have bullet holes in it.
Right.
You need to further push that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of how gifted you are. And I mean, to me, it was just an old sounding album. I mean, I don't like old albums. I don't listen to them myself.
I like old school stuff. I like stuff that sounds like it's a good of a throwback, but does it sound good though? That's the question.
You know, a point I was gonna make it too. I loved what's his name?
Bobby Womack.
Oh, here you go.
I love me some Bobby Womack, but that shit is wild.
I did me a whole deep dive. I'm ready for this conversation, man. Let's keep going.
Wow.
Let's keep going.
What's his name from New York?
He's a rapper?
Yeah, but he was in the beef with Troy Ave because that boy committed suicide.
You're not talking about anybody in the ASAP crew.
No, it's in the
you talking Joey Badass?
Joey Badass.
Joey Badass?
All right. I've always been a fan of
Yeah, I
Joey
like
Badass.
Joey Badass, yeah.
But he used to be too old school. Yeah. Like his last 2 albums,
he was like straight boom bap the entire time.
He's got it back to sounding like this time. And I don't want like when you said the NF dude sound like Eminem, that to me is already, I'm like, I don't need to hear that shit. I had Eminem. I've never wanted somebody to sound like Biggie. I've never wanted somebody to sound like Pac, and this is on our generation. When shit became cool to bite motherfucker shit. Because back in the days, it was like, you can't bite nobody. You remember that dude that used to sound like Jay-Z for a brief period? I can't remember his name, but I remember hearing him talk about, he was talking about, he was saying something to the fact that, man, my boy be putting on Jay-Z on the car, and I'd be like, man, turn Jay-Z off. And he'd be like, man, that's you. And this dude was like, dude, do you know how corny you sound? He used to sound just like
Shark type shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no one's looking for someone to do an impression. We want to hear your style and be different.
Right.
So to me, I've never want to hear. I want to hear elements of the past, but I want to hear how you switch them and add them. Not just that you're doing an old school type of beat or anything like that. Because I don't constantly listen to old music. I probably listen to anything that's old. I will listen to maybe R&B because there's not R&B doesn't exist anymore basically, unless it's gonna be some girl that can barely sing, being like something do that. Like it's not. There's very little true R&B that comes out, and she can sing, but most of the people regardless now can't even sing. But old rap, sometimes I listen to it. But if you look at my playlist is all shit that's just out now. Like, and it's stuff that I find on the internet or whatever. But I'm just not the person that like living in the past like that. So for him to come with the nostalgia album, I guess. But and the thing is this: old people don't even like Chance. When I tried to give my friends Chance, they was like, "What?" I'm like, this the shit. They was like, no. And that was like surf. That was actually surf I was trying to get
I feel like surf would have been a difficult one to give to your friend. Maybe acid rap would have been better to give
surf
to.
I don't know if
good, man.
I'll go back and listen to it.
acid rap
was good.
See, the thing with acid rap, you got to be in that
that mindset to really
I was
get
in
that.
acid rap when we was at IMS. And so I was just finding some stuff to add to my stuff, and it was just like, this is like, for me, that is, for him doing elements of old stuff, that's a great example, because he always puts the house music in there or whatever. And then I'm not even the biggest house head, but still, it's like, I just didn't need it. To me, it was a miss as far as the album goes.
Yep.
D and Davis stuff flip.
A hot topic. Actually, the funny thing about this, I feel like we were some of the first people to talk about this because we did it on Tuesday's show. And it's before Nat, because it didn't pop till Thursday nationally. It was Wednesday and Thursday, because I don't think that Jamel Hill article, we're talking about Jay-Z going along with the NFL and Rock Nation joining to take over as far as the Super Bowl performances and other performances, but also a social justice initiative. I said it on Thursday initially. I said I was conflicted about it.
Yes, you did.
But see, this is the thing too, because sometimes when we get into these arguments, I feel like we're not listening to one another. Because I think that happened. And I don't know when you did. I didn't put a question mark on it, so you didn't get it. My only issue, and I don't see why there's a problem with my issue.
What's your issue?
My issue is the fact that one, Jay-Z was stumbling, and all of us in here are in media, right?
Yes.
And all of us sometimes have to be in front of a microphone and know how composed we have to be. None of us are at any league close to where Jay-Z has been or where he's at. So for someone that is as poised as him to stumble over his words, it makes me to think that he really has to think about what he's saying because he doesn't want to hurt some feelings. I have a problem when we want to say we're bosses and leaders, but we're still worried about hurting the company's feelings because the company disrespected us. The company said, you black motherfuckers get off your knee, right? They didn't care that it was about injustice. They didn't care the fact that they pulled the players out of the locker room and put them out there years ago just to sell the flag. All right.
Yes.
So to
U.S.
me,
military was given the NFL charged the U.S. military for basically sponsoring, flyovers, the flags, and all that kind of
and
stuff.
they hit that initially.
They did hit that.
When it came out that the services was paying for it, and it should have been for free.
Late John McCain, actually, I think was one who kind of called it out.
Yeah, and that's so you pull the players out here to do this. Colin Kaepernick initially sits down, and I think it was Stephen A. Smith saying this, and it's funny because people forget the discussion because he was like, well, when he started messing with their money, he sat down. And then with the former kicker or whatever from Seattle that was in the armed services, it told him that taking a knee is more honorable.
What's his name?
Go ahead,
Yeah, Nate Boyer.
Nate Boyer, thank you. Yes. And when is ever a knee disrespectful? I've never seen somebody, that knee is disrespectful than a motherfucker. You're asking someone to get married. I know, but you're asking someone to get married. You're getting knighted. Or you're basically bowing out, right? I mean, when it's ever
Think about it on the football field. Taking a knee, it's like respectful listening.
I'm bowing out. I'm with next play, basically, right?
Tim Tebow was doing it a few years ago.
Great point. So again, I don't even want to get into that. This was my issue with Jay-Z. I use this example. If D does something bogus, and I mean nationally, everybody know, they like, you're his partner. What do you have to say about this? D was wrong. But D is one of the better people that I know. I don't understand what happened there. I'm not saying I like it, but as a person, I've never seen anything like that. I feel like it's my duty to always be like, if I rock with you, or if you're my race, and I do this with, you don't have to be my race. With any human being, I'm going to elevate you to this standard. For Jay-Z not to just say, and it's because the league told him not, they gave him talking points not to talk about in this presser. All he had to say was, I believe Colin Kaepernick should be in the league, or I feel like he was blackballed. To me, after that, we can move on. And he's smart enough, he's agile in an interview enough to hit a talking point and move on from that talking point. That was my issue. I never believed that Jay-Z should be trying to get Colin Kaepernick's job back. Now he can say if he's an owner, he could get his job back. I was having a discussion with my barber, and there's something we always say. It's funny. This is what my barber said. Ken, sometimes you don't put the plans out front. I said, dude, me and my guys, I talk to them about this all the time. And I was talking about in 2040 when people keep telling white people they're gonna be a minority, and I was like, stop telling telling them that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Stop telling the plan, right? I said that it's not the plan. We're talking. It's a talking point from what happened in the past that we all know. We all know that he's been blackballed, whiteballed, or however you want to put it. I don't think there's anything wrong if Roger Goodell's using you to cover something up, an injustice that the NFL did, for you to say that you just don't care for that injustice. He has no power to do anything, so I'm not asking him to do anything. So that was my issue with the whole thing, was that I felt that Jay-Z, in any business, you definitely want to not get on your partner's nerves or do something that can jeopardize it. I don't feel like it can be jeopardized because there's no one else in hip-hop that can be Jay-Z. They're not bringing Diddy in to do that. What good music does Diddy make? Because that's the only other person that's close in stature, and Diddy isn't Jay-Z. So they're not going to bring in Drake. They're not bringing in Drake to do that, all right? Drake's not even American, but they're not bringing in Drake to do that. Mm-hmm. You're only doing Jay-Z. And this is my last thing, too. I said this about the Carmelo Anthony thing about the Bulls when we were talking about Carmelo was saying that he had heard stuff about what was going to take place with the Bulls team. And I used Phil Jackson as an example, and I said, you know what? In negotiations, people tell you, and they act like they're trying to help you, but who knows if Phil Jackson, if the Bulls and if the Bulls and the Knicks had already been talking about Joe Kenoa, who ended up signing with the team, and Derrick Rose, who ended up being traded to the team. When you have a negotiation, the inception doesn't start right when the deal is done. You never know how long it goes. This to me, this has been the long game with Jay-Z, because Jay-Z's all about partnerships, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So initially, okay, yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the Super Bowl. His biggest artist, Rihanna, said she didn't want to do the Super Bowl. Partially, I'm sure it was for Cap, but also I'm sure Jay-Z's looking at it as I want more out of the deal because I just don't want to be out here dancing. I'm a businessman or whatever. So it's a business negotiation. My only thing is, in this business negotiation, the same respect that you give to them, they have to pay it back to you. If they say some things that aren't on the board with you, feel free to do the same thing, shit back to me. That's what real power is. So again, my issue was, I don't know how long this has been going on, and also if him and Rihanna decided not to do the Super Bowl, what's changed since then? All right, and I know he talked about action and everything like that, which is cool. I'm not a person that says he shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, make sure when you're doing it that you're paying the proper respect for the people that did the shit before, and just acknowledge it and fucking move on.
So my thought on it is, one thing you brought up, a simple fact of why didn't Jay-Z say in the meeting, hey, Colin should have a job. I think we can all sit around and probably agree to a man to say, we know where Jay-Z stands. Jay-Z has worn a Kaepernick jersey on stage. Jay-Z has voiced his opinion about him being blackballed. We know that Jay-Z is behind Colin Kaepernick, in the sense of, yes, acknowledging that the NFL blackballed him and he should have a job.
Saying one thing and doing something else is...
But no. But I'm sure that we can go in, we can find somewhere, some type of media platform, it was either written or him verbally saying it. I'm sure
it wasn't the biggest platform, though.
What?
You're never...
No. My point is...
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we know where Jay-Z stands.
But that's my question. Do we?
But
yes, we do.
But even
we do.
Even okay, but he's saying he's unsure. But this is the thing. One, it's a fashion. A jersey is a fashion statement, and he's at a concert.
But wearing that means something.
Yeah, but
because everybody's not walking around wearing.
If you think everyone that's wearing it is wearing it because they down with Cap, I mean, it's a dope ass number 7 fucking
with the iron with Cap.
It's a dope ass jersey. I mean, plus it also goes with Rock Nation colors.
Yeah,
black
and white. Right.
I don't follow Rock Nation.
But the hat, you see that, Charlamagne wears it all the time. That hat with the that's Rock Nation's colors. Mm-hmm. But this is my only thing when you're saying that. It's different from saying that to this is the biggest stage. The only time we see a rapper, a rapper with the commissioner is when he's about to get on that stage and jiggy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is a business presser. So that, and I'm not saying to still stay on it. I'm just saying you hit it. We know, and we do this when we do this. We have our talking points. That's all. That's my only thing.
I would say now. I'll agree with you. Would it have been something? Yes, but in my opinion, because I think everybody knows where Jay-Z is at. Not even talking about the Colin Kaepernick. I'm talking about business wise. We know where he's at. I think we all can understand. Like, man, listen, I didn't even think about the whole thing about the ownership thing. I know you said you had kind of brought it up.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
I said in the text. We all know this is a situation where he's the next billionaire. He's the black billionaire that they're bringing. Because who else is there out there? He's the only one.
He's looking at the long game.
Yeah,
that's 100% true. But at the same time, I've said this plenty of times, and I know a lot of people is like, nah, maybe you shouldn't say that or whatever. I didn't think Colin Kaepernick was going to give a job anyway.
You did. You were. You always said that.
He's not getting back.
But we're not talking about him getting a job.
I know. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Listen to the point of, if we have it, the Eric Reed sound.
To Sydney's mortal enemy. Listen, I'll tell you this.
Listen, wait.
I would pay to see Sydney and Eric Reed in the room. And a big safety like Eric Reed, you usually put your money on Eric Reed. I may put some side money. I'm gonna put a little bit on, just in case. I'm gonna put a little bit on Sid.
But Eric Reed has made the point that he is still fighting for Colin to get a job, which is good. All granted. But that ship has sailed. I even said it plenty of times, either on our show, I think I've said it probably like on Sports V, I think I said it on WVON. Like, dude, the best thing he can do if he really wanted to be playing ball is go play in the CFL. That's the only chance that he was ever going to get a chance to play football again. It was not happening in the NFL. Now, Sean Davis, down at ESPN 1000, I got,
who had already debated me. And that's why I didn't reply to any of that when I was doing that.
He definitely, you didn't.
He had debated me. We had debated overnight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
We had debated overnight. So we woke up debating each other, and it ended. And when I retweeted Tia Ewing's thing and said my thing, it's like, why are you coming here? We did this on Facebook.
Wait a minute. But Sean did make a good point, and I agree with Sean, though. I don't know I think Colin understands his position in the game. I know he's training to be back into the NFL. I think he knows.
What was Sean's point?
But Sean's point was I think he thinks that Colin understands that his impact is bigger as a martyr than actually playing in the NFL again.
And the problem I had with that is it had nothing to. And I was going to tweet it out, but it hit me. I was like, you already did that. I didn't know y'all did that. I'm not trying to. Once I say my points on Twitter, I'm trying to move forward with this or whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with him. Me and him had talked. My points were never on Colin Kaepernick getting a job. And I feel like we keep distracted. And I know not that Eric Reed, but initially, and this is before Eric Reed came out too. I know what Eric Reed is saying, because I think when we keep taking the argument off, the argument is really what's up with Jay-Z, to be honest with you. And to get back to the Jay-Z thing, and like I said, the same rapper that was like, hey, when it came out, I wanted to rap like Common Sense. Got my first paycheck, and that was the last time I rapped like Common Sense. This is a guy that over the last 15 years has more embraced the 5%er type of knowledge, who's been more of, I'm a grown man doing this and everything like that. And one reason is because at this age you have to, it would, especially being a business person that he wants to do, because Jay-Z's into image. He's into, I got to stay family. Look, I'm married with Beyonce. I got this. It helps him with these business deals he's making with these conglomerates. All right. So my thing is, I have no problem with someone looking suspect and saying, well, is it really about activism? Which I think is you can honestly say that. Is it truly about, because that's not why they're coming to, I mean, they're there because they want you to wipe this black thing off, but also it's because you're a music mogul and things like that. No doubt. And to me, and I know, we've all grown up with Jay-Z, and some people, because of Jay-Z fandom, the reaction is to defend Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z can be great, and we can still ask questions about stuff.
Oh, no doubt.
I don't think there's an issue of saying, I don't know if it's really what they're necessarily saying.
All right, fellas, what y'all think?
My thing is, I want to know, did he ask Roger Goodell, why doesn't Colin have a job?
Because we didn't want that motherfucker.
Did he get an answer? And was that answer sufficient enough for him?
Do you actually think he asked that question?
I don't think so. Which makes me think, it was like when you said that, well, we know what Jay-Z feels about Colin Kaepernick not having a job. I'm like, do we? Or was it just a good, was it convenient enough for him to use for his own advantage? Where it seems like now when he mentions, well, why he didn't Super Bowl, why didn't he want Travis Scott to do the Super Bowl, and why his other artists didn't want to do the Super Bowl, seem more of they got to pay us or they got to work with me in order for my talent to be on the Super Bowl. And the Colin Kaepernick thing was just the icing on the cake to make him look even better than what his initial motive was.
The Travis Scott situation. I want to talk about that. Jay-Z initially, what we heard last year allegedly was he asked Travis Scott not to do it. What ended up happening was Travis Scott said the NFL made some donations and that's going to allow him to do it. All right. And really, that's really the foundation of what Jay-Z just did.
Yeah.
So he took even though he was like, nah, don't do that shit. Now he was like, wait, they breaking off bread? Oh, let me screw my ass up over here. And what's changed from when you said that they weren't doing what they needed to do? And again, I'm not saying it from Cap getting a job back. I understand why Cap. Listen, even to be honest, and with these guys that are getting hurt, Cap's been out of the league for 3 years and wasn't a pocket passing quarterback. So I mean, not to say he shouldn't be in the league in general, but if you take a 3-year absence, the only person I can think of that's similar to this that had the same build, Randall Cunningham, when he was cutting marble out in Vegas.
Josh
right?
McCown.
Yeah, Josh McCown retired and just got back. But at least he was playing last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying as far as even Cap getting a job now, the longer he's away, for a guy that hadn't perfected it or whatever, I'm not saying he should have a job. But I'm still pointing out the fact to me, it's not about Colin. It is about Colin being blackballed, but I'm not looking to Jay-Z to get him a job. But I do think it should be a discussion point because as a black man, you should say, y'all wrong this dude. We gonna do this deal. But I'm gonna tell you that I don't fuck with that. And I don't think there's nothing because they tell us. Jerry Jones told them boys don't kneel. He said, y'all motherfuckers better not kneel. Right? How many owners did we hear? Like, you better not do what is right for you and your people. But yet, we get in front of them, we got to be like, no. Nah, because if we have true power, as uncomfortable as they make us, the same uncomfortability, we pass it back to them.
Yeah, I mean, Ken said he didn't read the Jamel piece.
Nope. Because Ken could do it. I'm y'all Jamel.
But I did read it, and she brought up some good points. Something so simple as giving a deserving person a job in a field that should be working in, and that being overlooked because of Jay-Z's decision to work with the NFL, in order for them to kind of blase over that, that's important. That's important. No matter what kind of Jay-Z is saying and what she was saying, in terms of why he's doing this deal, the act is still Colin Kaepernick, a well-deserving person, doesn't have a job in the NFL. And it's simple. And I know we want to move past it. And I know people want to move past it because the conversation has been done over and over twice over again on every show, sports show, whatever. But it only takes one contract to let this blow over for real. And they won't even go that far, go that route to end it. And it's just weird that, one, he doesn't have a job, and two, the coming together with Jay-Z, using Jay-Z's capital in the black community, acting like that's going to save face. I'm like, well, Jay-Z, we support Jay-Z, so we should just leave that alone. Well, we can't leave it alone because in 2019, a person is being blackballed from a job in 2019. So the whole thing is just weird to me, and it could be all just be done and over with if somebody would give him a contract. Nate Peterman.
That would be the smart thing to do. They should have
anyway.
They should have did that years ago.
They should have put his ass on the back of a team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he may have said something. Because look, remember too, initially, guy walked back. He said he was going to come back and not kneel. And then that got walked back or whatever, because then he found out he wasn't going to get no job. And it was like, so, but initially they should have put his ass on the bench and let his ass drift off right there. This is what they should have done. That's what smart people would do, all right? Because they were so stupid. The NFL, remember Trump was sitting there using, look at their ratings and all this. And I look at the NFL's ratings, right? The real thing was people was distracted by what the hell he was doing. He's running for office. But now the NFL's ratings are doing very well. And all you had to do, so the same people that was like, forget the NFL and I'm burning up this and burning up that are sitting, real NFL fans can't let this go, this crack go.
Very true.
I'm gonna tell you, for most people, I'm not saying that some people didn't decide forget the NFL out the cap. Most of those people was borderline about to leave anyway. Because I know cats that was like, I'm not really watching football like that anyway. Yeah. Hell yeah, it's easy for you to just click it off when you was already on the outs.
Yeah, plus cord cut and stuff like that. All right, Sid, Melvin, and Josh.
I just want to say for the people who say that Jay-Z sold out to the NFL, first of all, like you said, Ken, all plans are not told up front. And so we don't know what's the plan moving forward with Jay-Z in the NFL. We just heard bits and pieces that's been reported, if you believe the reports. Number two, is it really Jay-Z's, even though we all know that Jay-Z was protesting against the NFL with the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, are we ask our celebrities to be our heroes? I know they have influence and power over all of us in terms of branding and messaging. I get all that, but is it really fair to ask him to be our savior?
He wants to be Black Superman, so you can't take it away when you want to be Black Superman. He wants to be Black Superman. So you can't pick and choose when you want to be Black Superman. That's part of the narrative that he's portrayed is, man, we got to be self-empowered. We got to be this. This is grown man Jay-Z. This is what he's been giving us. You can't do that and then pick and choose when you're the dog. Unfortunately, Black people, this is the truth. Yeah, you got to speak for the rest of us. Let's stop playing about that shit. All right, I do. There's things I don't say on here because I don't want us to look bad, and I'm nobody. So yes, that's part of it. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Is it fair? No. Yeah. That's part of it.
I get it to your extent, but do we? And I'm just
I don't need nobody to be my superhero.
But I'm just saying, for us as African Americans, both men and women, why do we have to look? I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, I get what
and this is I'll be way beyond Jay-Z. Why do we look to our celebrities as heroes, whether we want them to be or not? As I said before, we talked about another issue before about all these police killings and all that. We want this certain celebrity. I'm just throwing it out there, like Lil Wayne. We want Lil Wayne because he's popular. We don't want him to say this if he's not up on the issue. But we tell him as a community, goes say this or say this and say that, and then once he does say it, he's not woke. He didn't say it this way. He didn't say it that way. Then we throw him under the river.
Lil Wayne said, "Fuck us."
This is different.
Lil Wayne said, "Fuck y'all. I don't care about that. About black a dude that I don't care how long he's now been in prominent white people's area. Lil Wayne has been he's been well off since.
I was just using him as an example.
But to go along, I'm gonna answer your example real quick and let you get back to it. I don't mean to interrupt. We look at those people because we don't come from wealth. My uncle wasn't wealthy. My nana wasn't wealthy. When the only people they show us are successful are dancing or running a football. All right, that's the only people they let us see. That's the only people that look like you. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna be more in tune to think that person is pop. Like, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but I'm giving you examples of why. Because they've closed the lane. They only let so many of us get ahead. So those people that get ahead, we look towards them for that. Mm-hmm. And then when those people get ahead and say, I'm supposed to be here for y'all to do that, then yeah, we go. Like, we expect you to. You can't put the cape on and take the cape off.
And you said celebrities aren't abreast on the subject matter. Jay-Z is.
I'm not saying him. I'm just saying certain celebrities are. There's most of them are not. Some are.
But this one is. But this one is.
You're the one that people are listening to.
Right. This one has the capital.
To you, so you have to do it.
This one has the capital on both sides with the majority and the minority. He has the respect of both sides. So that comes with the responsibility. If you want this title, if you want this mantle of people looking up to you and want to achieve the things that you have done, this is what it is. And on top of that, he made himself abreast on the topic by putting that Kaepernick jersey on. By, at that point, of talking to Travis Scott, it seemed to us as he was standing up for Colin Kaepernick. But then, I mean, my thing is, he had the leverage in this situation. Mm-hmm. He didn't need the NFL. He said he doesn't need the NFL.
Realistically,
he wants to be an owner. He needs the NFL.
To that extent,
his goal is
to that extent. Because
that's his long. Right. Remember, think about it just real quick. This is Jay-Z. It's always long game. Yeah. It's all he's really. If you follow Jay-Z, it's always long game.
He's a smart dude. It's a long game.
Let me hop in and say I'm kind of on the fence about it because I want to wait and see what the ultimate play is going to be. Because on one side, I'm like, all right, we don't know what he's going to do when he eventually gets a team. Maybe some scenario, some alternate universe, he gives in some scenario somewhere.
He's not going to be able to be he's just going to be the face of it.
In some scenario somewhere, maybe he gives Cap a job, right? Maybe he either gets him one on the field or in the organization somehow, some way. I doubt it happens. I doubt it. I doubt it happens. That's why I said. That's why I said.
That's gonna be like, fuck you.
That's why I said in some scenario that might happen, right? Or what other type of projects he might do. On the other hand, maybe he's known about this play in in 2 years time, 3 years time, maybe this is something that can happen. So let me start 21 Savage in trouble. Let me throw him some money. All these other people that need help right now that's trending on social media, let me throw them some money so that way I have the cachet so that when this deal does go through, I'm not getting hit as hard as I could get hit in terms of how the long play could be going. I don't know. And I want to give Jay-Z that cachet because it's like, I look up to you as you are that Black Superman guy. You are the guy that's like, say it again.
Have you been watching him his whole life? Because this is
This is who he is. This is who he is. When you look into his history,
real quick with
this is exactly
all right. This is Jay-Z.
Right.
This is his name. I don't know the deal tells between him and Dame and all that.
Right.
But I know still it ain't. It's as far as on the up and up everything. Look, he over there. I know Dame could brag that he's independent and happy. You ain't as happy as what Jigga's doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So to me, being a person, because I'm a person that studied, I used to have to defend him to boom bap apologists. Like guys I know that love KRS-One, he's like, all he talk about is money and all this, and I had to defend him, knowing that he was flawed. And growing, I haven't been really a Jay-Z stan for over 15 years, maybe even longer, because I peeped the game. Jay-Z used to rap about don't fuck girls long, and me and my best friend used to be like, fuck that, Jay-Z. Like, I like all that other shit you saying, but I'm gonna make love to these girls, because I know you're not gonna be out in the street saying I ain't fucking them right? And I'm just saying, but you had, even back then, you had to, the reason I'm using that, and that's crass, but I'm pointing it out, because even then you had to pick and choose what he was saying, because he, being like all of us, he was flawed. Some of his thinking was incorrect. And Jay-Z, and this is nothing wrong with it, it's always about Jay-Z. Like, and that, we're all about ourselves in varying degrees. But Jay-Z's always about Jay-Z. And to me, this is another thing. When does it stop being that I have to be the most wealthy? I got to be the first black. Like, because in some situations when you're right. But you know what? When you're going for that, you sometimes put yourself in compromising situations.
That's very true. Yeah. Right. Melvin, you going
I mean, that was pretty much it. It's like I can see both sides as to where this could be a long play and like I'm going to turn things around, or this could be the long play of let me do these smaller things so that way when this goes through, I don't get hit as difficult. Right. So we got to see how it happens.
All right, Josh, what you got?
Oh, that's very true. All you guys said, really good stuff. And I wrote a column on this in the heat of the moment.
WARRadio.com.
WARRadio.com. Check it out.
In the scope.
Yep. When I wrote the column, I was thinking it as from the viewpoint of the fact that not necessarily what he's doing is disrespectful. I actually view Jay-Z as maybe the savior of Kaepernick, as someone that could at some point utilize the plug and the pull that he has to take advantage of the situation and help Colin Kaepernick in some shape or form. Whether obviously we're not thinking of the situation with him being on the NFL team, but maybe from the fact of if he's in ownership, maybe he could be part of that ownership circle, or maybe he can do something along those lines, so that way he can have some say in certain decisions that are being made to to cover up the fact that he was blackballed out the league. But I was viewing it that way, and just using the fact that the NFL was just being so disrespectful to Kaepernick for handling this type of situation the way that they did. I thought it was just a slap in the face from an NFL's perspective, because you blackballed the man and you're gonna hire this guy to basically cover up your own sins. Like that's jacked up. But I also thought that at the same time you could utilize, if you're gonna bring someone like Jay-Z in there, he's one of the only few people, if not the only guy maybe in this situation, that could possibly help Kaepernick and give him some type of say-so or some type of employment situation where if it doesn't involve the field, it can involve him being in some type of, I don't want to say ownership aspect, because obviously you need a lot of money and a lot of aspect to do that, but it can give him in some type of role within that type of sense.
As soon as his afro hits an ownership meeting, Jerry Jones is flipping that motherfucking table over.
Just walk in the door.
I did want to say just one more thing about it. I did agree with what Ken said, in that he could have went in the room and made them feel uncomfortable and be like, with me being here, this is how it's going to be. With him saying, I didn't agree with what y'all did, I'm still here for this partnership. And when that didn't happen, and when it felt more like he was trying to apologize, trying to placate to what the situation was going on, that's when I first started to feel the unease of, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm going to watch it play out.
Now, I threw this out there before you hop in, Ryan. I threw this in the text message. Do you think the text group chat we have, do you think that would have been lip service? Because my point was, as Tony said, we don't know exactly how maybe Jay-Z felt because of the jersey. We might not know how Jay-Z felt because of things he might have said. I'm just saying, at least not at least,
but we can say everything's lip service then.
But right. So my question is, would that have been lip service to you all if he would have said that? Like, listen, man, I'm coming in. Cap should have a job, but and everything after.
I want to say no, because if you go in and do that, then that only backs up everything that you've done and you built yourself to be at this point.
And some people are going to agree. Look, some people aren't going to like it anyway. But to me, always set the point. Because some people can be like, yeah, I don't like your point, or I don't think you were really valid with your point. I don't think you rock with your point. But you can say, I said it. Like, there's nothing no one can say. Yeah, there's nothing no one can say after it's documented. I was next to the commissioner and I said it.
So now with this has happened, the question of how of Jay-Z in the position that he has on this has been questioned now. But now people are looking at Hov a lot different now. I mean, it is what it is. People are looking at him a lot different now. I think you and I are kind of on the same wavelength in the sense of this is Jay. We've seen this Jay-Z since like 94, 95 Jay-Z.
In doing business, there's still certain things that you can do. Everyone's not going to agree on it, period. Like, so I'm not even saying, like, I get that part. But sometimes, like the first thing, like when with me and Sean Davis, I'm sorry, Ryan, I'll let you go. Sean Davis was posting all on Twitter, and I love Sean, he's my guy. And on Facebook, and usually I don't even be trying, but I said, he's asking for it, so let me jump into this one, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, y'all, black people just stay mad. And I'm like, why are we just blindly defending Jay-Z? Like, why? Like, that's like y'all blindly defending me. You can defend me, you can point out if I'm wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you got my back. That's all I ask. Right? That's all I ask. All of us are flawed. Jay-Z's flawed. I'm flawed. But still, there, to me, it's paying respect to each other. That's like a problem now in general. You walk around, this dude, real quick, dropping Kenton off at the park. And I was walking past his brother, and I looked him dead in the face, and the brother just walked past. I think I may even said hi. The brother didn't say nothing to me. Right. I said, fuck him. Right. Motherfucker seen him about 2 or 3 days later. I was walking up the steps, seen him again. I looked at him. He said hi. Right? Okay. And he's old. I hate it when the young ones don't know. So some of the young ones do know. There's nothing wrong with us being cool and looking out for one another. Sometimes we make this shit way more difficult than what the fuck it is. All right? There's nothing wrong with putting your people first. They put their people first. Like, but we don't get it. It's ingrained in us not to, because that's how we've been bred. Slave mentality. Right? That's how we've been bred to make them not feel uncomfortable while they lashing our asses. Right. Oh, master, I don't want you to feel bad about this. Right? Like, no. Play that shit back, Ryan. Go ahead.
Go. Ryan.
I just had a question for the group. I was wondering if, let's say, this doesn't end up in an ownership for Jay-Z, is this a bad thing then?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
facts. I
think that's
this was a what are you doing move.
I think that's an end game for him.
And
NFL too.
This end game needs to be 2 years from now. You better have ownership.
But this is my thing, though.
At the latest.
And it can't be small ownership either. It needs to be
well, hold on. He's only a billionaire. He's only a billionaire, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know
how much y'all want him to put the whole billion on the team.
Look, you gotta have more. You gotta have more than what you had with the Nets. At the least,
Derek Jeter does not have a major ownership of the Marlins.
No, he does not.
He's the person that they put as the figurehead. That's why y'all got to think about it with these $1 billionaire owners. What the dude that owns the Nets now is $10 billion up, and they cost 2.5. That means he has 6.5 left or whatever. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm trying to do? Yeah, he's still a billionaire. If Jay-Z put up his billion, he's in the streets. All right.
Also, too,
living in a stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, B.
I got the suite. But also, too, I think with that is it's an interesting position to be in as far with Jay-Z. Is he taking the shots from the streets and from his community and from his fan base? Or is he really trying to go the long route of being that billionaire, trying to be NFL owner? I don't think it's going to be, as Ken said, I agree with 100%. I don't think it's going to be anything bigger than probably 1%. And Eric Reed actually made the percent. He made that point like, what, you going to get like, what, 1% or less than 1%?
0.1% of 1%.
What is that going to do? What is that really going to mean?
He can still be in charge of the team.
Huh?
I mean, he can build.
He can be the face of it.
I'm saying, but look, think about it. Sometimes
you also get some of the stadium.
A lot of people, though, what they end up doing is it's in the ownership group that they know down the line that you're going to get majority of it. The group.
Longer. Tony,
my thing is, my question is, who wanted more? And what I mean is, obviously, this mattered to the NFL. How they're viewed on this subject matters to them a lot.
A lot of black people were saying,
it mattered to them a lot for them to make this deal. Yes. I felt like they wanted this more than Jay-Z wanted to be an owner. And I think therein lies the leverage. It's like, you're getting more out of this
The Jay is.
than I'm getting out of this, because I got to take that backlash if I do this. I got to, my capital with the group that you want is going to drop.
Well, Jay has to be Tony, but Jay has to be somewhat comfortable because he's taking his back. I mean, his backlash is coming.
Which is why then the point is, how did he actually feel about it?
But this is the thing, to get to your thing, where I slightly disagree with this. I think he had leverage in being able to say what he wanted to say because he wouldn't have said it in a crass fashion. Would have said it like an educated individual pointing out something that was wrong that we all know is wrong. But to say the NFL doesn't have leverage, there is no question he wants to be an NFL owner. Like that's
Who
one
doesn't?
thing.
And they got the precious slots.
But even I'm
Who
just saying,
doesn't?
but fitting his narrative, right? The only other black owner that we care about is what, Jordan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Bob Johnson is
yes,
known for the
exactly.
Yeah.
But he got
And I
it
guess
Jordan.
Jeter too, huh?
Yeah.
Half of them.
Do we talk about Usher and Will Smith or no?
No, they don't count. Will Smith does. Usher doesn't. But still, if he wants to, and that's why I feel like he's more differential towards them. He wants to be in that club with them. He likes being and rubbing the shoulders with those guys and stuff like that. And most businessmen do. But this is the thing: if you're a Jewish businessman, you're still going to point out half of you feel like injustice taking place in Israel. Like, and I have nothing wrong with it. My thing is that sometimes, and I think we have to be cognizant of it, because we don't like to say, man, I'm like this because my DNA and something has been bred into me, and say, no, I'm a free man and all this. You have to be cognizant of years and generations and generations and generations of what your family has been doing. And it's in our subconscious, sometimes we let them off the hook. That's just the truth. Yeah. We're differential towards them because that's in you.
Well, we'll see what happens with all of this, based on what kind of comes from this. It could be nothing, and then Jay-Z is definitely going to get raked over coals, or it could be the possibility, Ryan, that it could be something that's really fruitful for the social justice movement, and you never know what can. I think
it has to be fruitful because of this outrage.
We will see.
I think he has to, but I'll say this, and I thought this would happen. He's going to he only has two options. It be fruitful and become an owner, or he's going to be like, they didn't do what they promised me, and that's why I stepped away.
Right.
Real quick, one last question.
Yes.
Who should he be the owner face of in the NFL?
What team?
It's got to be an LA team because Beyonce ain't letting them move back out east. So it's got to be LA. Chargers.
Chargers aren't. They're not giving up that.
I'm looking at owners who have financial troubles. The Raiders, that this is just their thing.
Ain't they going to Vegas though?
And they aren't making money elsewhere.
But they about to get paid.
The Bears are out.
They cut out what's the name? They about to get paid. They cut out who they was about to give up part of that team, and they ran back on that deal for that stadium, so Mark Davis could own even more of it.
But I mean,
I'm with you. I'm not saying. Yeah.
What's going on with Houston after McNair died? Are they keeping that?
I mean, the thing is now, remember, when we were kids, because I think this is what happened to the Washington football team, how Daniel Snyder got them. When you died due to the estate tax, your family was fucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But now, because remember, people used to say that about Virginia. But now we know legal-wise it's set up to where it's not going to be the same hit. So now people know better and protect themselves from that situation. So with McNair, I'm sure his family and his lawyers have already set it up to the fact that, one, they probably got enough shareholders in that team, so it's not the whole hit on them, but that you don't get the same hit. Because some teams had to be sold because the estate tax was damn near more than what the team was worth back in the day.
Tony, what else you got?
Because it costs too much to make an expansion team.
Well, you got to get two. If you're going to do an expansion, you need two more teams.
And I couldn't imagine them making a team.
New Orleans?
We don't need any more new football teams.
New Orleans?
So maybe New Orleans?
New Orleans?
I mean, they would love football down there. They don't love basketball.
Because I know because I know after everything that was going on with the Pelicans, she kind of like, I don't know what's up with all of this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, listen, it'll be very interesting to see what comes of this. It'll be very interesting to see after
Are the Panthers for sale too?
Who?
No, they
were.
They got bought. Okay.
It'd be interesting to see how after all of this, where Jay-Z kind of falls. Not falls, but
I mean, in order for this to work, everything I said, I'm sticking with it, and then I'll apologize for it if he gets to that level.
And I think
but for now.
Yeah, no.
You wanted this anyway.
No.
You hate old rappers. So. You was like,
Yeah,
you was
let's
rubbing
tear
your
him
hands
down.
together like,
Let's
oh,
get
yeah,
it. It's
Michael
over with, ho.
Jordan, Jay-Z.
It's over with.
So this is like, you're just being spiteful, Tony.
I think Tony makes a very good point though. Where it lands definitely is going to be big, and how Jay-Z is viewed after this.
And your new Bengals owner, Jay-Z.
He'll switch the narrative.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens.
He's like
after this.
LeBron with the narrative. He'll switch the
Well, Jay-Z just the coordinator, executive producer of the Super Bowl halftime show, and that's it.
Wouldn't that be something? Ooh, that'd be terrible. All you do is put on the
All
dance in the
this
show, huh?
just give me some more dancers.
Oh
Ooh,
my
that'd
God.
be terrible.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen,
It was
Eric,
a present to my wife.
Wait a minute, Eric Reed, he said that in the interview though. He said that in a press conference. I mean, a press conference, but the interview at the
At his
locker room,
What is
at his locker. He basically said that, like, listen, what's the organization that Malcolm Jenkins is face of? Basically, he threw Malcolm Jenkins and
Because remember,
Jay
Eric Reed
Z
and
up under the
Malcolm
bus.
Jenkins were working together.
Right.
Eric Reed.
Oh,
said,
Malcolm
Coalition.
Jenkins with the Eagles.
Yes, Players
Yes,
Coalition.
but he basically said, like, so what's coming with that? And he kind of stood there. Nobody said nothing.
Good
He's like,
point.
Because remember, he
happened?
said Malcolm Jenkins, this is according to Eric Reed and some other sources, had always been looking for money for his organization.
Yeah.
So when the Colin Kaepernick situation took place, he used it as a money. This is according to Eric Reed, not me. He used it as a money grab. And again, to what you just said, what's become of it?
What's become of it?
Like, what have we seen from it?
Yeah.
Has the league, even put it like this, has the league been putting it on the front?
The best thing that I can think of that can happen for the league and Jay-Z simultaneously is if they do some type of partnership with Know Your Rights with Colin Kaepernick. Right. That would be huge if they decide to do that, because I think it's save face for both. The question is, will they do that? I think not, because as we said before, all they had to do was put this dude on the bench.
Nessa ain't allowing
And they didn't do that.
Nessa will
He might sponsor the halftime show.
Who, Colin Kaepernick or Know Your Rights?
Know your rights. Because that's the only way he's
I
getting
mean,
in
you
the
got to
NFL.
pay for the shit. No.
Yeah, he ain't sponsoring.
No, he ain't sponsoring shit. I mean, you got to pay for it.
I'm just saying that's the only way he's getting in the NFL.
I don't think you get in the NFL at all.
It's done.
It's done. Dude, he should have went to Canada. He should have went to Canada.
Nah,
If
For
he
what,
wanted
though?
to play,
For what, though?
If he wanted to, but this is
The Alouettes, baby.
No, no, no,
We're
no,
coming
no,
back.
no,
you are.
no,
You one of them
no,
slaves that didn't stop up north.
no.
You kept going to Canada.
No, if
Nah,
he
brother,
wanted,
I'ma fight for mine.
no, if he wanted to play, he could have kept still doing all the money rights. If he wanted to keep playing,
Don't
and
rule
to,
out
and
an
to
XFL
rub it in
return.
their faces, not saying.
That's rubbing it in their face.
Listen to what I'm
Those
saying.
owners are laughing.
Let me.
That motherfucker playing on an 8-year-old,
Hold on.
800-yard field
Wait a
out
minute.
there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
XFL coming soon.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. If he would have went up there and balled out, not saying it was equivalent to the NFL. No, it's not. If he went up, if he would have went up there and balled out and at least showed the public, I'm still here. I can still play. They're on some bullshit. They're blackballing me, but I can still play. I think he would have, not from the majority, but a good portion, would have been like,
Two things.
y'all really fucking him over,
See,
because we could see that he can actually play.
I need you real quick. What's the Bears backup quarterback, the black dude that went up there and did well but sucked in the NFL?
Henry Burris.
Henry Burris. Everybody asking for Henry Burris to bring his ass back down here. And then going with that. Hey, well, let me finish. Mark Trestman.
Wasn't Warren
Mark
Moon up there?
Trestman.
No.
Nobody cares
Wasn't
about
Warren-
the fucking CFL.
Wasn't Warren Moon up there?
Because Warren Moon's up there because of racism.
What the fuck you think this is?
No, but I'm saying, I'm talking about was Henry Burris. Nobody cares.
But what
But
was
that's
this?
also-
but
hold
what
on.
was this whole thing
That's
about?
also
It's not
Warren
racism.
Moon
I'm
and
with
Colin
you, but I'm
Kaepernick,
pointing
though.
out the fact that you're saying that motherfuckers gonna be like, damn, he need to be up here. Motherfuckers don't care what's
I'm
going
not
on in
saying.
the CFL.
Listen, I'm not saying like, damn, he should be on my team. It could be like, damn, he can still play. They really fucked
He
him.
playing against the kids. He should be doing that.
Melvin.
I was just saying that you got Warren Moon and Colin Kaepernick.
And I don't like
I'm just talking about the
this.
situation.
This
Not the
Henry
player,
Burris.
Not this player.
Wait, hasn't Warren Moon done something recently? I hate to do that to Warren. I know Tony love this type.
Yo,
Come on, bro.
Tony, you want to hate on the old man, right?
Come
Warren Moon do
on.
something this past week or something? Did he touch a woman or something?
Oh,
I think Warren Moon had done something.
Yeah, he lost his Seattle Seahawks radio gig a couple years ago because of the allegations of sexual abuse.
Okay, because I mean he did beat his wife up.
that was a few years ago. We ain't talking about racism. We ain't talking about domestic abuse.
I got to keep the facts.
You know how
I only deal with justice.
you know this. One last thing on the Jay-Z thing. Like, if this turns out like bad, how bad Jay-Z is going to look.
It's
He was like,
a
you thought
possibility.
You thought they was telling you the truth.
It's a
You don't think he's
possibility.
gonna let you own one of these teams?
It's a
And
high
then he gonna make a song
probability.
about it.
Hey,
Like, nah,
how soon do you think
you look
Kanye
real
gonna make a
stupid
song
right
about
now.
it?
I don't need them.
Like when Kim made, that's the first thing I thought of when Kim made that point of, he was like, oh, he could do two things. He could back out and said they weren't honest with me. What do you think?
Yeah.
You thought they was gonna let you do that?
It's gonna be looking like Kanye.
Then my side gonna come out defending that
But think,
with his funny lips.
but think about though.
Gonna come out looking like Kanye.
So it has to lead to.
He gonna look exactly like Kanye. He do all
It
that.
has to lead to big time ownership of it. That's the only way that this can look
And
right.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
And if it doesn't look that way, then what's the point of doing a deal?
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's the only way we get to watch the throne too. Only way we get.
Now Kaepernick looking stupid. Now Kaepernick looking bad out here, and you.
I don't know. Kaepernick could be fine. He'd just be sitting back in a new Nike commercial like, I told you.
I told you so.
I told you.
I told you. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
And now what? Now Beyonce got to divorce him.
Damn. Damn.
Whoa now. Whoa.
Damn, Tony.
Whoa. All right.
'Cause that's
All
what
right.
we-
We're done with this topic.
Ain't no team here.
Because now Beyonce looks bad. Now the beat, I'm like,
I thought I told you not to do that.
Jay-Z gonna call.
After I did
Jay-Z's
all
gonna
that
call
Black Panther
Kanye.
shit at the Super Bowl.
bro, that's a
did
big.
all this for you, Jay-Z?
That's a big risk.
It's a huge risk.
That's a big risk for him taking that.
He'll call Kanye.
He's trusting
He'll call
these white
Kanye and be like,
owners
I'm sorry,
to
bro.
help him get to primary ownership.
Josh?
I'm saying he'll just call Kanye. He'll just be like, "Yo, bro, I understand
That's
what you're
even
saying,
worse.
man. We gonna put this Watch the Throne 2 together right now. We gonna do Watch the Throne 2 right now.
Would y'all take that risk?
I'm going to ask y'all, do y'all
With
respect
Watch the Throne too?
do y'all respect the risk? It's a big risk,
a
man.
big
I would,
ass
but see,
risk,
I already
man.
told you.
It's a
what
huge
I,
risk.
I already said I would have how I
Honestly.
would have done. First of all, me and Colin Kaepernick would have been really talking. Not after the deal is struck and I go
Who
talk
y'all
to
believe? Jay-Z said they talked. And
No,
like,
but
they ain't talking.
Oh, no, I heard
the
they
fact
talked.
is
It
they
just
talked,
wasn't
but
a
it
good
was after the-
conversation.
but it was also after the deal was basically consummated.
Yeah, it was
This
like,
wasn't
this
a
is
discussion.
what's going to
Like,
happen. Let me
for
let you
instance,
know.
Yeah, the ink was
As-
drying, and he called
As
Colin.
business, they're not business partners. Jay-Z's a grown man, so I'm not saying he has to ask for permission.
Right.
But let's just talk about like you and I.
Yeah.
Usually going over something, I'll be like, hey, this happened, this happened, and this happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like you should make someone abreast of the situation. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think?
What do you think?
Man, I don't think you should do it. Okay, I understand that, but I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I may still do it, but I want to know what you're saying because this is my
Let me
thoughts
get
on
your
this.
input.
Yeah, like you can do
thoughts.
as grown men, you can have a fucking conversation.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. Like we act like for instance, again, let me just run through something real fast. 2 weeks ago, we were off the air, right? Whatever. Me and D. This great thing about me and D's relationship. I went to a seminar with D's dad. You can tell where part of the reason D's great guy. From looking at it and doing whatever, trying to figure out if I want to get involved with it, I was like, no, or whatever. I think D's dad hit me on Wednesday. And even there, because he was talking about, somebody I was doing this with, the person said they just went ghost and they haven't hit me. I was like, if I'm not going to do it, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I replied to him last night, and I was going to call him because I wanted to do it on the phone, but it was getting late. And he's checking in on me. I'm like, no, I'm thinking I'm not going to make it, and I also don't think I'm going to end up doing it or whatever. These dad is like, cool, it's not any problem. It's always going to be there. We're family, blah, 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 all this. We're two grown men talking. It's not that hard to say I don't want to do something or I disagree with you, but yeah, okay, go and do it. It's very easy to do this. So that's on Jay-Z. All right, not to sit there and holler at Cap. And again, he doesn't have to be held up to Cap and what Cap wants him to do, but you should make the guy that's been punished for this abreast of the situation.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Yep, we shall see.
D. and Davis to flippity. Katy Perry's Teenage Dream co-star accuses her of sexual misconduct. Katy Perry is being accused of sexual misconduct by model actor Josh Gloss, who was her love interest in the 2010 Teenage Dream music video, which was a fantastic song. I mean, that album was pop greatness.
It was.
That was one of the greatest pop albums. Only thing that came close but didn't succeed was the Shake It Off album by Taylor Swift, who I am tired of and needs to go.
That's your girl.
I'm not any longer.
They just made up too.
They did.
Don't care. I'm tired. But like both of their careers are done in Davis land for me. All right, like I'm a pass. But they gave you excellent pop in about a 3 year span. All right. Kloss got candid about the alleged abuse in an Instagram post, claiming the pop star pulled down his pants and underwear and exposed his genitalia in front of a group of people at a birthday party at a roller skate rink. Damn, at a roller skate rink? He said the incident occurred after they worked together and after the 2011 split of her husband from Russell Brand, who I saw the other day, and I was like, damn, wasn't he married to Katy Perry? Which was weird.
Yeah, he was.
He's doing better. Like, he's like, you know, have you heard? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, he's doing better.
What I saw, he was actually, how we were saying he's doing better. Yeah. And he was a heavy druggie, too. That's kind of the reason they couldn't make it. And it left Kloss feeling pathetic, real quick from him. He says, so I saw Katie and a couple of times after the breakup with Russell. This one time I brought a friend who was dying to meet her, and it was Johnny Wuchek's birthday party at a Moonlight roller rink. And when I saw her, she hugged me, and then she hugged me, and she was still my crush. But as I turned to introduce my friend, she pulled down my Adidas sweats and my underwear as far as to my shoes, basically. Damn. And then it says she basically let her friend guys it around in the crowd around my penis. Can you imagine how pathetic and embarrassed I felt?
Well, he was little man right there too.
He was. Even though he was
cold water.
Yeah, that's the worst. Boom, stroke me.
Cold water.
Get me right.
Prime me up before you do that.
Rub my back a little.
Yeah.
I'm a grower, not a show.
He didn't pull him back up?
He didn't pull him back up?
He just ran out the room with his pants.
Listen, I am a fan when it comes to Katy Perry on the looks. I think she's an attractive woman. I think we talked about this too, about the guy that she kissed on American Idol. We talked about this. And I was like, man, that's a lucky motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And you was like, well, how do you know he
wanted to be kissed? How you know how do you know how he identifies?
That's assault, yeah.
Yeah, if he
doesn't, national television.
And look, even if you're heterosexual who says
she could assault me all she want.
How you know she ain't got herpes? I know your ass. You wouldn't her assault you then, would you? Mr. Condom. She get you with that hurt bubble on her. And look, it's not out, but it's out.
It's dormant right now.
You gonna come to Chanel, she'll be like, D, why my face like this? Because Katy Perry wants to kiss me.
I had to take a shot.
Baby, you gotta understand.
You got to understand. It's Katy Perry. Dark Horse Katy Perry. No,
Dark Horse Katy Perry.
She stole some from that song.
You saw with Juicy J? I had to do it, baby.
I hated that song.
I had to do it. No. I mean, going to this extent, pulling somebody's pants down.
Pull him back up.
Hold on, dude.
There's no going back.
That's sweet.
I think at that point you're probably shocked, like, damn, I can't believe my mister is out like this.
Well, the first instinct is pull him back up. I was like, hey, what you doing?
It still don't make it right.
No, that's what I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. So his point is she did a disservice.
Tony, he needed to make sure the camera phones were there so he could sue her later on.
Yeah, hey.
I'm rubbing my dick on her. Only way I feel like I can save face. I have to do something else. I'm running after her with my pants down, and I'm rubbing and like, this is what you want. This is what you want. This is what you want. Hopefully by then I will be aroused. And I'll be like, aha!
The truth shall set you free.
Ha-ha, I'm here now.
Gather around, ladies and gentlemen.
About to go Super Saiyan on you, motherfucker.
I mean, listen, well, hopefully, nothing else came from that. Did they say anything else happened after that? Did he get lucky or he did not get lucky?
No, he's just crying about it.
Is that really sexual misconduct?
I had a girl one time. I was at a
story time with the...
It always is. Got to tell the young boys the stories. I was at a play sister's house, and a friend of hers who actually hooked up with one of my boys, they didn't make it. But they didn't do anything either, so it wasn't one of those situations because I usually don't fuck with somebody my boys fuck with. But we were sitting on the couch, and the girl didn't know. My friend who was my play sister, she didn't even notice. I thought the girl told her. So we're sitting on the couch, and the girl was like, man, basically pull your dick out. And I was like, shit, right? And I was in my low 20s. And I'm like, at this point, like, man, I'm a man. Motherfucker asked to pull out your dick. You basically got to pull out your dick, right? And I think it so happened I got a decent amount of wood. A little bit. I mean, because, but see, the thing is, you know how we, see again, going that Jay-Z shit. You know how we was like, how we were raised. And I mean, something like, one thing that's good about now.
You ain't seen them in the world, girl.
Yeah. Like,
the party starts.
Like hip hop at the time was always it was more misogynistic than it is today.
Oh, very much.
And it was about like, if you better fuck And I'm not saying it's right, but that was been barred into our head all the time.
You're correct.
But I remember being scared, right? Because I'm like, shit. Now I'm like, and again, I'm always the person.
Were you in a room with somebody else?
Huh?
Were you in a room with somebody else or just you
No,
two?
it was just me. But the play sister we were in her basement. She's gonna come in at any time. Actually, she did come down there. We was it was a blanket over us or whatever.
Oh shit, my shit would have been out by then.
My shit was out. Dog, my shit was out.
Okay, all right. I just want to check now.
All right. But I mean, again, to me, not for you.
I just want to make sure your shit was out.
With me, that's how I get down.
Blanket, dick out.
You're gonna get this meat if you asking for this meat.
Hey, get the big cover.
The comforter.
Comforter. Get the down.
They got a California king back there.
No, the 1,000 feather count.
Get some of the weight on it to hold me down a little bit.
They got silk.
No, silk might cause some issues.
Oh yeah, you don't want this. You don't want that on.
You don't want that silk. You don't want
that silk. Ain't never gonna be.
Yeah, ain't gonna be. No,
the silk got like an oil stain on it or something.
Somebody must have been eating chips.
Hey, listen. I'm just saying though. I'm sure. You see, you took care of business. She asked to pull it out. You gotta pull it out.
You've heard other stories about situations.
Yeah, man.
This is also the
you down there by yourself and she asked.
If I've ever told this situation, this is also the young lady who, years later, I seen her one day at a Target, and I remember telling my guys like, she gonna try to get up with me tonight, and she hit me up, and I went out to her place, and at the time, her I think I told the story. Her baby daddy didn't know she was living before, but this time he did. And dude was about to fuck my shits up. Yeah, this is that girl. This is that girl. So let you know to stay away from the crazy ones. Used to like to try to choke me.
Yeah,
not to choke. Don't like to be choked. Had to do the Michael Jackson, Wesley Snipes move when she tried to choke me. Stop it, right? Stop. I don't want to be choked. Get your hands off me.
That is aggressive.
And also, this goes to last week's show. Like to try to pinch my nipples. I don't need that. I'm good.
You got a super freak right
She
there.
a wild one.
Story time with KD.
Stay away from the crazy ones.
So none of y'all ever had a girl just by yourselves just say, go ahead, just pull it out. Y'all never had that? Okay.
Oh, listen, let's go back to the old Melvin saying. You know Melvin as is a freak.
Whoa.
You know Melvin.
Whoa.
You know Melvin.
Where did this left turn go?
Keep your women away from Melvin. Yeah, that's his old drop.
That's the old drop.
That is old drop. Keep your women away from Melvin.
I knew you was a freak the first time you came to the studio.
Where did this come from?
I'm Melvin. Keep your woman away from him.
Hey, man, listen, you might need to.
So Katy Perry go to jail?
No.
Should she pay a fine?
Jail.
No.
No, this was just alleged.
Is this illegal?
It's a Saturday night.
That's a great.
Last Friday.
That's a great because if a man had ripped a woman's blouse open,
he'd be in jail.
I'm sure
he'd be in jail.
prosecuted for
He'd be in jail.
Yeah, but like I said though, man, it's just Katy Perry, man. Who gonna charge you for that?
Look, man, if we're about progression,
you gonna
right?
charge Katy Perry for angle pants?
I'm just saying.
Take your Katy Perry bias out the situation.
If we're about equality, right?
Shit, I ain't gotta be equal to that one.
I'm with you. I let women abuse me. I have because I felt like as a man, but it's the sexist thing.
It is.
Where it's like I'm a guy, so yeah, you're what you're doing is wrong because if I did it to you, it would be okay. But I'm a guy, so it's okay. And I play a part in that.
Yeah, we've been brainwashed.
Yes, we have.
I mean, but you know what? Things happen.
I'm saying you can allow some people to abuse you, Tony.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shit.
You trying to say if somebody that you like walked up and just, hey Tony, let me go ahead and grab your fella. You gonna stop him?
Whoa. Where your hands been? First off, who are you? Who are you just walking up on me like this?
No, not strange. I'm saying a girl that you like.
Shit, I'll tell you what. If it was like somebody super duper walked up and grabbed my meat, man,
it's a party going on.
Depending on who's there, I'm not moving a hand. Now, if Afton is there, what the fuck is going on? But
you must be crazy.
If it was like a few of us, I'm gonna look y'all in y'all eyes to see like, do you see this shit? But I'm not gonna move.
Like, hey, only
thing I'm gonna say,
what's going on, guys?
Whoa!
I'm gonna say sound like you need to take care of something.
I know you. See, I'm slower to it. You go straight. I was gonna say that in about 3 minutes. Like, damn, are you trying to get an appointment? But I don't open up with that. See, you going straight. Like, my first reaction is, whoa.
Sound like you want to have a meeting.
Feel that lumber?
Sound like you want to have a meeting. Okay.
Jesus. Take the wheel.
No. I'm asking Tony a question. If it was a girl that you liked.
Who's your favorite? Who's your most attracted to you?
Yeah. Who's your number one? That's like a celebrity. A celebrity.
Oh, I haven't thought. It used to be Kim.
Oh yeah.
But that's the last.
Kim
That's,
who?
that,
Kim
that's the
Kardashian?
that's the last time I've ever thought about it. And then
nothing wrong
now
with
that
that.
Kim has gone to do things, it's like
I don't know.
I don't know if I readjusted
I
my
would only do
list.
that to get A back at Kanye. He liked Trump, huh? Like it wouldn't be for me. It wouldn't be for me. Like that's how it slipped. That's how she slipped. It wouldn't be for me. It just wouldn't. I'll be doing that for the streets.
MAGA list.
I did this for all y'all out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
So Melvin, Josh, Ryan, no. I mean, it's not like a number one. Your number one girl walk up to you.
I'm gonna let you go first, Josh.
Oh, Josh,
You know what? I don't think
you
so.
don't have to do with this.
I don't. You know. I don't think so.
All right, Tony said no.
Yeah, I'm made uncomfortable by
This
that.
is bad, Tony.
I'm made uncomfortable by that situation. No, I'm like, hey man, what you doing, bro?
That one you can't.
All right, Josh. All right. Oh, Josh.
Man, yeah.
Going down.
It's a wrap.
Josh said
Where's
you said no
I said where? Where you there? Where we going, baby? Come on.
I see a nice dumpster over there.
Wait. What about Guy? Guy, what about you?
Meg and Rihanna only exceptions.
Who? Rihanna? Yeah, Rihanna touched my meat.
Oh,
We
Rihanna.
going.
Oh, yeah.
We going. It's y'all may not see me.
Yeah.
I'm be like, just send the kids.
Whoa, what's up apart from Harlem Nights? Hey, tell your mother I ain't coming home tonight.
Have a nice night.
Have a nice night. Yeah.
And listen, Rihanna's so attractive to me because she hasn't been married to anybody. So for her to be a billionaire,
Man, Rihanna.
She's about to be engaged.
who
To
cares?
the,
He won't
to the
work.
billionaire.
To that. She's going to be engaged to that guy?
They've been
They're
going
getting
for
close.
a long
Yeah,
time.
that never works. See Janet Jackson. It's not going to work.
It worked with Eve, right?
She said this is like the
did
farthest
work with
she's ever
Eve.
come in a relationship.
Eve is a little different.
Yeah, that's different.
I got these 2 paw prints on my titties. No.
Nicki Minaj has 80 days to get married.
Who no one wants her.
She's pregnant, right?
I don't care.
Nikki,
cares?
she not. I don't think she's pregnant.
Who's
but
like-
she with that one dude.
Yeah, she just got a marriage license and they have like 3 weeks or
I heard that
3
she was
months or whatever.
possibly impregnated.
Okay, I mean, not to say I wouldn't go, but
Nobody likes.
I would
her.
never.
so good for
I would never
Really?
wed
Is Nicki
her.
Minaj fell that
I would,
far?
she said, no, it's not.
Damn, Tony. Damn, Sydney.
If she's a white woman, you'd be like, it's fine.
Pass it over here.
Brother Bunker strikes again.
I don't.
She's the town
It's not who
bicycle,
she's
huh?
had. It's not
God
who,
damn.
It's not who she's had sex with me. It's more of the fact that she seems like she's very.
She seems
difficult.
annoying.
She seems like it's very difficult to deal with.
She's like a
so
like
I
a
wouldn't.
handle?
I wouldn't even want to be her. Only reason I would be her boyfriend is just to get my Q rating up and to get some money. I wouldn't be doing it for good reasons. Like that's how I feel. Unfortunately,
Shout out to Meek.
that's how I feel about That's how I feel about her.
Meek was in love with her, though, man.
I mean, he got in a beef with Drake for her. And got killed. I was thinking about this the other day. When Meek dropped that first, when he dissed Drake at first, I was like, oh. And I said this to you, I remember. I said, I know he got that ether in the background. And then Charged Up came out, and I was like, okay, that was okay. But
Charged Up was hard.
I was
Charged Up was hard.
that back to back was hard.
Back to back was harder.
That back-
Charged Up.
Charged Up was straight.
People gonna forget how nice Charged Up was because Back to Back came out. But Charged Up was nice.
I didn't think Charged Up.
Charged
was
Up was cool. Back to back got nominated
cool.
for a Grammy.
If you say cool, it wasn't nice.
It was nice.
I still was like, that ether's coming. Right?
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
but the point I'm making is that lets you know how much that shit was about love. Because I thought he was doing that as a strategy. I know, boy. Ooh, Lord, that love is bad for you sometimes. Because listen, he still ain't really. I mean, to me, I get it.
He never like it's cool. It's like one of those things.
I don't
Like
like
it's
listening
cool
to his
now.
Look, I don't like listening to his rap,
But-
and I was a fan of his. He hasn't put out a song I liked in the longest.
Yeah, he's never coming back
Who,
from
me?
that.
Yeah, he
It's
hasn't
like
put
you
out-
never.
And
What?
I don't like Meek Love songs. I don't like Meek Love.
What do you
songs.
mean he hasn't come back from it?
No, I said he has, but to
I
me,
don't think he
to me
has.
lyrically, I don't appreciate his music. I don't appreciate his music.
Once that happened, he capped off. You know what a cap was.
Get the point.
Before that, you saw potential. There was no ceiling yet.
I don't think. I think he's in
And
a
when that
different.
happened, it's like, oh yeah,
got
I can never view you.
He
Past
got
this
ate
certain-
up.
I
Yeah,
can. I can never view you past
By
a certain
Drake.
point now.
Twitter
I think,
fingers.
I think he's in a different space now because I think at that point in time, I really do believe when he was like, I didn't think it was that bad to the point what everybody was saying. I think if that were to happen at this point where he is in his career, it might be handled differently.
I don't think he has the lyricism to do what he needs to do. That's the
I
big point.
I
That's
definitely think
what
he
said.
does.
I think that was a great point as far as the cap. He's capped off. We know the parameters of his MCing now. And it's unfortunately that plays a part in it because a rap battle defines you in a lot of ways. And that's how it used to be. Jay-Z did not have to go at Nas. You know why Jay-Z went at Nas? He was taking a fucking victory lap. And he hadn't had a big battle. So he decided to go at Prodigy and Nas because at the point, Jay-Z was Jay-Z and Nas was a sleeping giant. It was dead, basically. So he was like, shit, I'm about to take a shot at this motherfucker and totally rejuvenated this motherfucker's career. Right? Like, just, Nas had like 4 more good albums after that. Nas was putting out some trash. Right,
yeah, because Nas wasn't mainstream at that point.
No, he was mainstream.
But so he wasn't at Jay-Z's level.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yet. But he was mainstream. But still, that's a great. To me, it did cap him off. And for me, when we was at ICB, I remember walking and talking. I was like, man, I like Meek Mill. Some people was like, nah, he yelled too much or whatever. I was a Meek Mill guy. I've never been a fan of his love songs.
Like Meek.
Listen, the worst part about that beef with Drake. That was the first album of his. I remember saying this to the guys. I think Tony made it around. I was like, dog, he got like 6 bangers on him. He got like 6 songs that can play out on the radio. Oh, yeah. The idiot did that before him and the Drake song even really got the fuck on. Like, get the album off before you do all that. Have some tour appearances with this dude before you do all. Dog, he had 6 bangers on there. And basically by the second or third one, destroyed the whole movement with that ignorant stuff over Nicki. And where is she? Stop falling in love with these MFers.
It's like when you see a person like a family member you respect, you see him do like some dirt, they may apologize to you, but you'll never view them the same. I don't view Meek the same.
I guess I still think if Meek was in that situation right now, he'd be able to handle it completely differently.
Handle what?
In terms of being able to battle with somebody, I think he'd be different.
He couldn't battle Drake. He can't. Like, we know that now. Drake is gonna come out with some sneaky shit.
Oh no.
He gonna get some Ghost Riders. 40 gonna throw that slap on the back.
No, because now we got the blueprint in terms of how to attack Drake with what Pusha T was doing, so it might be different.
Yeah, but he's slap. Bring that all the way back. Meek Mill is nowhere near Pusha T.
I'm not saying that he was.
Because Pusha T basically
he could handle it differently.
Drake came out with some good shit. Pusha T basically won that. Meek's sister had harder bars than Meek. She did. Did y'all see her going? She had harder bars. Look at you know that. Don't tell me he can take Drake. He can't take Drake.
I don't know. I think he could at this point.
Okay, because he's gotten lyrically better.
I think. Well, I mean, if you go by the experiences that he's had at that point, and I think that the music that he's making now, I don't think anything is going to top the Dreams and Nightmares intro. But the music he's making now, I could possibly see it.
It's better than I'm a Boss. This shit ain't even better than this a house party.
Where's Layla when you need her? Because she's the biggest Meek Mill fan I've ever seen.
Philadelphia Flyer.
Man.
But yeah, I know. I'll take your silence as a yes, sir.
I don't know if it's top of the house party.
All right.
Moving forward.
What y'all got next?
D and Davis the flip.
7-year-old walking dog is dragged into stranger's car, but she escapes. Texas cops say. A man has been arrested and a young girl is safe thanks to her quick thinking, police say. The 7-year-old was walking her dog in her apartment complex in San Antonio last Thursday when police say Jack Steele, 42, snuck up behind her and dragged her into the back seat of his SUV. KEYE reported. Police say Steele drove off with the girl, but it had to wait for the complex parking gate to open. The girl seized the moment. She opened up, unlocked the door, and jumped out the car and started to yell. KSAT reported, first of all, you better put the child locks on when you're kidnapping. Now back to the story.
Good shit.
Police say Steele sped away. I'm just helping the kidnappers. I'm sorry. A number of surveillance cameras at the complex weren't working and didn't catch the attempted kidnapping on video. Damn, the cameras were out. The man, though the man's police identity did appear on the camera prior to the incident, reported by KEKY. Police released images of the man in Facebook posted on Friday in the public to help find him. Of course, they have him, so they found him. So
this is Homie the Clown. Remember Homie the Clown used to ride around back in the day?
What D is saying that in the 90s, after Homie the Clown on In Living Color came out, there was rumors, and it seemed like it was, that a dude in a white van, we used to have a neighbor that had a white van, so we used to always say that his son, we used to always be like, your father out there kidnapping kids with candy. You had a white van, you was getting clowned back in the day.
Yeah.
But Homie the Clown, remember Homie the Clown in the color used to hit kids up the head with a sock, but the rumor was he had bricks in the sock. So this dude was hopping out with his dress as Homie the Clown, knocking motherfuckers over the head with a sock full of bricks and dragging them into his van.
Homie don't play that.
Homie don't play that. Exactly.
Homie don't play
that. So yeah, it is. I'm sorry. This is like a Homie the Clown situation. I mean, for me, I'll say this. I've been thinking about this recently. Like, I want to have a conversation with Kenton as a joke. But it's like I'm more worried about something happening to my daughter than my boy, because even though my son is attractive, people aren't kidnapping the boys the same as the girls. Girls are walking around like a piece of gold or whatever, right? But I worry when I don't
know. In 2019?
Unless you in Africa and you about to fight a war and you need some of these little fighters.
What? Yeah, girls.
Because you can flip a girl.
Way more than
you
guys.
can move weight with a little bit. You can move weight with girls. It's not right. I'm just pointing that out.
Yes,
See Robert Kraft.
Yes.
But still, it's so, to me, it's when I hear this, and it's funny because like my kid, I have to trust my mother with my kids today, and they're like going to some block party thing, and my first reaction is, you motherfuckers ain't gonna be watching my daughter. But again, I'm an overprotective parent, so I know that nothing has happened, so I should have trust in them. But it weighs on my concerns because, man, when you just look at some of the shit that's going on out here, these motherfuckers is vultures out here now.
Yeah, they are.
The sickness, I don't know, one thing we always said it's because we can see it more, but also it just. I think it's more prevalent though, because one thing we've talked about, a lot of mental health facilities have been defunct.
Oh, listen, it's been. You walk around downtown, and you just look at how many people that is clearly would have once been in a mental facility are just on the streets right now. And I think that's more of a reflection on us as a society, that we don't push it to say like, hey, these people actually need some help. More people are really to the point of like, man, I'm worried about mine, and that's it. That's really huge. But to this story right here, listen, I have a 7-year-old daughter. I would hope that what we have taught her, it's like, listen, somebody do something to try to do, try to abduct you, basically. Yes, you yell out, you scream, you try to, do all kinds of stuff like that, try to get away. But what's kind of interesting, though, when the past shooting that happened in the Walmart, we was laying in the bed, Chanel was like, man, what do we do now with Grace? Because now it's just like, man, I feel kind of bad stripping her away from her innocence, that we have to now literally think about, okay, if we go to a certain place, do you go hide? Do you come find us? Do we come find you? What do we do? And these are the kind of conversations that most parents are having right now. This right here of being abducted, this is some old school shit. This is some shit back in the day you hear in the 80s and the 90s. Like, man, he rapping, he getting these kids and putting them in minivans. Stranger danger. You don't hear about shit like that too much no more.
I bet you do know, Sydney.
Oh, hello.
Enough out of you, young man.
Said you had a busy week this week. A bunch of motherfuckers hog tied at your crib right now.
But no, that's some shit that you typically don't hear so much from right now. Although it's probably still happening. People are still getting abducted. People are still being. How many times have we seen on Twitter? It only takes 15 seconds or 10 seconds. Retweet this. This young girl is missing. Women are missing.
But how many times do you see that with dudes?
You don't.
You don't. Ryan. So you made that look when I was like, girls ago. You was kind of like, I don't know. The boy. You said the boy value was.
I mean, I think the girl value is higher, especially if it's being reported in the media. Mm-hmm. But I believe the boys are still in danger.
But it's from a bearded man like yourself.
Yes, beards are a good way of providing innocence.
But think about how many black women go missing
all the time. Yeah.
Latino women go missing all the time. It's people of color.
Well, that's part of why I said 7-year-old girl. That just seems to make sense for media to cover versus a lot of other stories that they choose to ignore that 15, are in the same 16, field.
17. Yeah, that's very true.
They can't, but I wish they would have given out this little girl's last name.
That would have been big.
I was wondering,
I would have had a clearer understanding of what took place. Because I think this, you talk about what to do with Grace, I say don't even worry about it. She old enough. Her black flight skills are probably great.
Yeah, kick in.
They're they're probably excellent. You'd be like, damn it, she got the car already. Because I told her, get out. They're usually not shooting outside the place. Get out. That's what first thought. Get out. I know we talked about this like a week or two ago. All right.
I just wanted to say, even though I'm not a parent, I just hope to tell everybody in this room who are parents and just parents who are listening in general, just beware of your surroundings. Yes, have a plan just in case something goes down, but be aware of your surroundings, because let's be honest here, and it crosses all lines. People just don't pay attention, and like you said, people just are looking for themselves and not looking out for their neighbors or the other man.
Yeah, dude, you know how many times I'm not the kind of person that kind of like, I'm going to eyeball you up and, square you up off GP like that. That how I have to now, like more so than ever. Like we went to a water park the day after the Walmart shooting, and Chanel was like, "So what happens? We go to this walk. We going to what was we at? East Chicago. It was like, okay, what if somebody coming in and look weird? I'm like, I gotta size everybody up now. Who wants to live in a world that I gotta size everybody? I already gotta size everybody up off of GP anyway.
I was gonna say, I was like,
no. I'm talking
do this already.
For me, yes, but it's different when you gotta now. Okay, I got an extra layer to add on. I already got my old lady. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We gonna fight together. But I got a seed I gotta look after.
I stay on point.
Man,
I'm always.
My question is, who wants to live like that all the time? And unfortunately, in the state of America, we have to be like that all the time.
I'll tell you this: fuck America. State it everywhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm in the country. My antennas is up. All right, because you know.
I'm not saying the mine is down. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, damn, I gotta raise them up even higher.
It's messed up, but that's the way the world is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got a question for the group.
That's the way the world is.
Yeah.
Watch out for the kids.
Y'all grew up with these school shooters and shit like that. We ain't grew up with school shooters.
That feels bad, Sam.
I'm 100% serious. We didn't grow up with this shit.
Right when
me, Ken, and Sid did not grow up with this.
I was out.
I was a senior.
It was a senior.
Yeah, so like
that shit is weird as hell.
When that boy flipped out, I remember watching that with my pops. When that boy flipped out the window, I was like, damn, I think he broke his leg. That was crazy.
We did not grow up in a world like that. No. Like y'all have to go through active shooting drills. We fucking still grew up with tornado drills. Think about that. Yeah. I don't even. It's still kind of like. Listen, my wife's a kindergarten teacher. She tells me, listen, if something happened, just knew I went out fighting.
I hope she went out.
She's
teacher though.
But think about that though. I have to hear that from my old lady.
That's crazy.
Hey, just knew I went out fighting. You ain't fucking going to Afghanistan.
They selling the bulletproof book packs now.
Think about that.
Bulletproof backpacks.
Bulletproof book bag.
And it's funny because my first thought was I was gonna say she needs to get out, but she's a teacher. She needs to make sure
she gotta make sure them kids are okay.
It makes me think of the Dale Earnhardt situation with the plane.
Oh yeah.
So today the footage came out.
He was out.
Yeah, he got out before his wife.
Did he do
he got out before his wife.
Did he do a George Costanza?
No, he got out and he was by your next door neighbor right there before he came back. He was the second person out.
He did a George Costanza.
He was up. I was like, how the order go? His wife was out for the dog.
Oh, that's where
the dog wasn't out. The dog wasn't out yet. So the pilot came out. The pilot grabs the baby. He hops out because I'm like, is that? You can tell he had on a t-shirt. The pilot was dressed like a pilot. We didn't see, I don't think, on there the other pilot. I think the other pilot was the last one out because I'm like, damn, his wife the last one out, but it was two pilots. We only saw one. So the last pilot is out giving the lady. His wife comes out and goes, dog, it's fire under the door that opened up.
I didn't see the video.
It's fire under there. His wife goes back for the dog, and then they don't show the last pilot. But I was like,
were they kids in there? Or no,
yeah, 15-month-old. The pilot grabbed them from
their first child.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Hey man, that's survival. That's that instinct come out. Survive or
like,
die.
Fight or flight.
He's supposed to be.
It kicked in.
Your relationship changes after that, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Bristol today,
especially when there's footage everywhere.
He stayed with his family and drove home.
Where's my?
He was
I bet you they did drive home. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't flying no more. And
if you ever seen,
it was a short flight too.
Want me till they come down here?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
All right, this is weekly question of Chanel question of the week.
So we were just discussing. I don't know if you saw the Dale Earnhardt plane crash.
She didn't. She don't know who that is.
No, I didn't.
Well, he's was a famous race car driver.
Okay.
And him and his family, they were involved in a plane crash. Mm-hmm. They all turned out all right. Everything was fine, but footage came out on how the plane crash ended. The pilot came out first, then Dale Earnhardt.
Pilot grabbed the baby.
Who?
Pilot grabs the baby.
The pilot grabs his kid. Dale's kid. Okay. Dale Earnhardt leaves the plane that's still on fire.
And left his wife in there?
Then comes back for his wife, who was getting their family dog out of the plane. So if Dee had done that, and my assumption was the relationship has to change, right? So I want to ask you, if Dee would have done that, how would you view him?
We would have a long conversation after that. But I mean, I'm just curious. Maybe he was delirious. You know, that I'm just gonna say that maybe he was delirious and just walked out and didn't realize she was still in there. Because he went back, right?
He was
Eventually, but
from where I'm sitting at, he was at your next door neighbor's house before he started coming back. He got out and broke. Like, he broke, and then he went back and because my only thought is
it was impulse, right?
or the order they were out, how they were in line, and made even though I would have been like, go, but to me like that, I was waiting. I've been waiting to see it because I'm like, damn, who went out the thing? So when they finally showed us today, I made sure I watched. And I was like, damn, that's Dale getting out second. I'm like, where your wife? Yeah.
I mean, but my thing, you say is impulse, but I think once you have a family, natural impulse should change.
Shit.
I mean, look, Demons knows me. I would probably be the one running and probably would come back too. Be like, wait, I forgot.
I was going to say that. She would have left me. She was like, I hope his black ass got it.
I mean, I'm just being honest. But yeah, I mean, that's why I was, just based on I know what my reaction would probably be. Maybe he was just like, oh, and then it's just like, oh, wait, I forgot. I mean, like I said, at least he went back.
Man, it took him a minute. It took him a minute.
I have to see this footage then now because this.
Oh yeah, you gotta see it.
I gotta see this
because that's the first thing. Because when I saw it this morning,
see this on YouTube.
When before I left, that's the first thing that I wanted to see. All right, who came out first? Was he looking at it for his family first? Because in those again, natural impulse situations, I want to see if it happened. And he was like, "Nah, I'm out."
So now I'm thinking though, because you said she was getting the dog, so I could see him being like, "Come on," thinking she's behind her, and Demon's being like, "Wait, where are you at? You getting the stupid dog? Leave the dog. What are you doing?" I don't know.
Thank you for your input.
Okay.
I love that dog. That man was a dog.
I was going to say that she probably would have left me, but she said it for herself. Just want to let you know. I knew that was.
But you're supposed to be the protector, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
Sexist, Tony.
Right?
Sexist.
Gender role.
I mean, listen. I think
Talking about improvements and equality.
I know, right? I think I would have probably done something, but as I said before, when that human instinct kicks in, I'm not. I'm not saying. Listen,
it's not even a question. I'm last. I mean, the second pilot can be last, but I'm last out.
We can say that until the shit actually happens.
When your family is involved,
that's what I'm about to say. I think
it's not just strangers.
Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. Are you thinking about?
Screw y'all.
But you are thinking about survival. This when it actually comes out. What's in your DNA? You're thinking about survival. We don't know.
Fight or flight.
I'll give you this. My first thought may have been survival, but my first action would be looking over to see my family.
Listen, I think that's a noble action. I'm just saying. We don't know if
maybe
he will pull a George Costanza.
Was it his NASCAR training?
Because how can you live with yourself? If they die, right?
You see fire, you run.
If they die and you were like,
especially, oh my God, especially with this is gonna make it sad now. Especially with the way that how his father went out.
Yeah,
that could have been it. Been like
Melvin, everybody.
Yo,
fuck that. This for you, Daddy.
I'm gone, bro.
Thanks for teaching me that lesson, Pops.
Left the legacy. Shorty was down the road.
Right.
I will be the Earnhardt that lives.
Good, bad Ryan right there.
Whoa. Oh, man. All right. You got another one?
Yeah.
I got another one. D and Davis stuff. Flip.
She wanted a late night hookup, but he fell asleep, so she burned his house down. A New Jersey woman is accused of torching a man's house after he invited her over for a late night sex.
Hello.
Then fell asleep and did not hear her at his door. Damn, he didn't even let her in. Tajay Russell, 29, was arrested Tuesday in connection with the fire that destroyed a home earlier this month.
She's black.
Said the whooper.
Yeah.
Dude, you knew that.
I mean, hold on. We didn't exactly
Just like the little girl that got out the back of the car, got a feeling she was black. When I knew this house got burned down, I had a feeling.
Yeah, it was bad.
You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
All right. Police accused Russell of sending a series of angry texts and slumbering resident, then buying lighter fluid, matches, and a lighter at a nearby gas station around 4. Damn. It would have been different if she just had this shit on her. She had intent.
She went and bought it, right?
She went and bought it. The man described as covered head to toe in soot and ash and wearing only a t-shirt. wearing only a t-shirt. Then,
Sir, what happened? I don't know.
then ran around 2/10 of a mile to the Woodbury police station.
He ran?
He ran in nothing but a t-shirt, like
Winnie the Pooh style.
Adina Howard.
Adina Howard.
Nothing but his t-shirt.
Winnie the Pooh style. I like that.
Well, what's the Cubs mascots?
Clark.
Yeah, Clark.
Clark.
With his
No, I'm
pink-
going Winnie the Pooh.
He frantically announced that his residence was burning, then ran back to the house. Whoa. He runs to the police, announces that his residence is burning, then he runs back to the home.
My house on fire, yo.
Like Lassie.
Man meat out just dangling. Wow.
The victim was taken to the hospital
You should have girl wasn't Katy Perry.
to treat, basically. To treat
would
for
never
not
do
their
anything
name like
like
Tajay. To treat smoke inhalation and 1st and 2nd degree burns. Damn.
Katie would never do anything like this.
Yeah, okay. Pull down that
There's
boy's
no
pants
going
and throw
back.
some lighter fluid on it.
Why do you think Russell Brand's into drugs?
No, right? Man.
Police then learned of texts sent by Russell to the victim, which included, "I see you want to die.
Oh, shit.
You wasted my money to come out here."
Damn. Wait a minute. She flew out? She flew out?
Basically.
Oh, she
came
flew
to his
out.
crib. No, they said she came over to his crib. I don't think it was. They
Yeah.
didn't say if she could have still been. It's flown. I thought we mispronounced that. We don't say flew out. It's flown. How do they do it when
She flew out.
Flew out.
She flew out. She flew out.
Yeah, flew out. That's how we say it.
Okay.
Flown in.
The victim's phone had showed 8 missed calls. The man told police he invited Russell to his home and stated that she was a side chick whom he had been in a sexual relationship with. Video surveillance showed the woman outside the man's house just prior to the fire making a purchase at the Conco station. When does the threesome part come over here? The incident marked the second time this year the woman
I want to know
was-
about the threesome.
Wait,
Here we go.
the incident marked the second time this year a woman was accused of setting fire to a man's home in Woodbury. So it's his area.
So do not mess with women in that area.
Hell no.
New Jersey,
Or
everybody.
do right by him. A city woman, 33-year-old. Oh God, Tashia Young.
Damn.
Let's not make assumptions.
I know Sydney gonna be out here and be like, "I told y'all." Was charged with aggravated
Ratchet Davis strikes again.
on other crimes. According to the police, Young confessed she engaged in a threesome at her boyfriend's duplex, then became angry when he sent her home and the other woman stayed. Police said Young also brought lighter fluid and matches at the same gas station.
Whoa.
Whoever's at this gas station, if a sister shows up late and wants lighter fluid, lock that bitch down.
Ma'am,
Hey,
I'm
sorry,
going to have
we
to know your
closed.
intention.
Like, yo.
I want to know how that conversation went with the two girls. Like, hey, baby, can you leave?
She got that shit. You see what she said? No, I'm gonna be.
Listen, we're not going to do too much. You know,
She ain't got no place to go.
she just needs a bed for
I was
tonight.
gonna say it's not enough room for all three of us to sleep up in here.
I mean,
and
come
you
on.
stay down the road.
We go to church. Let's help people out.
Go to church.
I know he's
Wait a
going
minute.
to
So
church.
wait a minute.
I know he's putting this on the church.
Here's the question. Who has been offered a threesome before?
Couple.
Couple?
Been off a couple.
All right.
I had one ruined by one of my roommates.
All right. Tony?
No.
I'm just asking. Mel?
Don't ask Melvin
I had
that.
one.
Why not?
It's like Tuesday.
Threesome Tuesday.
Two of them. I got offered three about around the corner the other day.
Are they the same price like the tacos? 2 for 1?
Hello.
You may just say,
No, okay.
Nah,
Josh.
I haven't.
Josh?
Nah.
come on, Ron.
See it?
No.
Not live in
Have
the
you offered somebody else one? No. Shit, I fuck all of y'all. Sidney Brown. Today's White Sox history note.
Ratchet Davis wrapping things up as usual.
Just walk to the
Today's
middle of the room.
White Sox history
I fuck
note.
all y'all right now.
All of y'all.
Ryan?
Oh, real quick.
Oh, what?
Side note, because he just brought that up. First time I ever hit the bong in college. I was in this dude's room. I just
What
started-
kind of bong?
It was a 2-foot glass bong.
Oh, you never had a homemade bong?
The fuck? Yeah, actually, not really.
Yep.
But the 2-foot bong and the shit, I swear, threw me into vibrations where it was like wang, 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 wang. And we in the room.
got
It's
that
one
good
girl.
stuff.
It's one girl we brought, maybe two girls we brought, and the dudes whose crib it was in the bone, his girlfriend. I told them because how fucked up I was. I said, man, y'all need to all get out of here and leave me with them. Cindy Brown. I knew you did, Cindy.
Oh shit. Ryan?
Not serious. I have a couple girls that were open to it, but we never went down the road all the way. See, to me, that's tough too because it's like, how far do you push that?
You're right.
Shit.
You D?
What? No.
What, you pushing that?
Why you shitting over there?
No.
Shit, Chanel just hit. She don't even mean it. He be like, hell yeah, bring her up in here. She's like, I was talking about the plumber.
Ryan? I mean, all right. Guy?
Every day.
No.
What day of the week is this?
Pay the guy.
Aren't like married couples and longtime couples like doing that like a lot more?
They've been doing
Not
that.
necessarily.
Swingers?
Forever. They've been swinging forever.
Oh, yeah, swingers have been around forever.
They've been around forever.
But usually you start out. I don't think you progress to that.
This is the thing about
Those
being
key parties that they used to have in the 60s and stuff like that.
I think it's still happening. I'm waiting for the day that somebody like till it comes to a party and he walk in as a bowl of keys in a bowl. I'm waiting for that day.
So you can drop your keys off?
I can't wait to drop my keys in them.
Thank God. D, that's for drunk driving.
No. I'm just. It happens still. I think it still happens.
I remember being out on a date.
Yeah.
They probably do cell phones now.
Yeah, I'm sure it still happens.
Good one.
Drop your phone.
I remember being out on a date with a young lady, and this couple from another town was there, and they just wanted to buy us drinks and shit, and it hit me, they trying to fuck us. But I was like...
He was trying to fuck you?
His woman was bad. Mine was bad, too. His woman was bad. They were white. So that even adds some exoticism. But I'm like, I'm not gonna let you fuck this sister. I fuck your woman though. So I couldn't allow that. I was not giving this black Nubian princess to this man. I refuse, sir. Yes.
No, not you.
Not you. No, sir.
I've seen one develop in front of me, but I was.
Oh, I thought you said you saw it live.
No.
Oh yeah, I think you told me.
No,
I walked in on one live before.
You walked in on
That
one?
was crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, mama.
It was like, I want to say a Halloween party in somewhere out randomly in Brooklyn. And I'm looking for my friend because the rest of our group is getting ready to leave. And we in some basement party. So I go back downstairs and I'm checking the different rooms to see where they at. And I open a room and then I see two girls on top of each other and a guy over there in the corner undressing, just looking at them. And I was just like, oh.
You got room for one more?
All right.
I say, then he closed the door behind me.
I found my friend.
I heard this where the party's at.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to be late.
Harlem radio in this bitch.
Y'all go to Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. All right. I mean, things happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult. I can't say I think if you're living from a square's perspective, so I'll say my perspective is a square's perspective. I think it's hard to do that with someone that you truly care about. For me, because I haven't been in that situation. But if it's someone that like the first time it was offered for me, it was somebody that was one of my closest friends, and then we ended up going with one another, and then I realized, damn, we should have never done that. And we was about to go back to school. And her friend, who I hooked up with my boy, and I knew when I hooked up with my boy, I could have got her because I spent a tail to get her to go with because my guy was attractive, but she wasn't interested in him. We all went to high school together, and I remember how I talked to her. I was like, shit, I could fuck. And they wanted to come to my house to fuck these two girls. And mind you, I wasn't dealing with the girl that I was dealing anymore. At that summer, I'd actually started messing with my high school girlfriend again. So she was trying to get back with me or whatever. I remember being like, you need to let me know if we're going to be together because I got this dude I'm about to go with. I'm like, bitch, if you're about to go with somebody, then go. You're not trying to be with me. What type of shit is that, right? There, we're in my room, lights out. I'm killing. Like, everybody was like, damn, we thought you was assaulting her. Girl, she was pregnant too at the time. It wasn't my kid. I forgot that part.
The
little asterisk.
Story did this just turn into?
Yeah, I know, right?
You got to remember, in my life,
A foursome.
I feel like we've all lived my life, though. So when I'm saying it, it's like, damn, this shit sounds weird. But because I forgot the pregnant part, right? That part. I forgot the pregnant part. So I'm obliterating this womb. And my guy freezes up. And we both know that they're trying to fucking switch off. And this motherfucker, it gets so bad where he hits her in the head with the empty pop bottle, right? Because she said something to the point like, I can't wait to see Ken's ass in the air. Verbatim is what she said. I can't wait to see Ken's ass in the air. And he ruins the motherfucker. It was like, he to this day.
He ruined the moment?
He ruined the whole thing. It was like, dude, they was like, I wasn't even going, he was going with her. I wasn't even going. They wanted to come to my house to pleasure us. And he just blew the whole damn thing.
Boy, that's not a friend.
Yeah, we ain't friends now. He owe me money.
I understand. The only thing I would say I would come close to, it was me and another guy and these two girls.
I was about to say, that's a train. That's a train.
No.
All aboard?
Do you want CTA or do you want Metro?
No.
Doors about to close.
No. She was definitely on me, and I think we could have probably done something.
Probably.
But I'm like, you know.
I'm with you. I'm not the
Two times that happened to me.
I'm not the superest like. I'm. That's not my. Again, I can say I openly be like, there's. I have definitely got some, and I just said that, but some square elements to it. Even like guys talking about trains. I've never been the train guy. I've never understood it. I remember this one dude was like, man,
Derrick Rose' favorite.
yeah,
Can't do without it.
I remember this one dude like, all you gotta do.
Friends at?
Yeah, we
Where my
boys.
friends?
It's not the same. But
It ain't the same.
Derrick Rose?
This dude has said to me, and there was a young lady, and funny, the dude that I just said was in the room with me. Him and this guy had sex with this girl together, right? They did, right? And this was like 4 or 5 days before, and it's like, word, that shit happened, right? And it was like the first time my boy had it.
Y'all proud of that?
I wasn't.
Hey, shit happens, man.
Tony, yo, square ass. So anyway,
You just said you wouldn't do it.
I did. And then I said I'm square, so I'm calling you the same.
Are you talking about having two dudes and one guy?
But
With
and
one
so
girl?
then the dude says
Did you
this.
say 2 dudes and 1 guy?
That's something, man.
The dude tells me this. He's like, all you need
That's a
to
different
do
train.
is walk into the room. I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about.
D said 2 guys or 2.
I meant to say 2 guys and 1 girl.
What did he say?
I said 2 guys and a guy. Well, you know shit happens.
That's a train too.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's a different train.
Train too. Don't hate on their trains.
We're not hating.
But the weird part was the dude asked me, he's like, all right, when the shit just gets to happening, just walk in the room.
Oh, that sounds like assault.
That sound like rape. Ken don't rape, bro. I'm gonna stay my ass out here. That ain't how I get. I'm not.
Ma'am,
like,
I'm entering the room. Do I have consent?
the Tupac henchman, what's the name, henchman fiasco. Like that's not the deal. Yeah, that's not my MO. So I declined that.
Well, I mean, make sure everything's consensual. Make sure you protect yourself. Yeah, you know,
If it's consensual,
after that, have fun.
if it's consensual, it's all. It's
have
have
some
all the
fun, man.
But when people are
You only
like
live
trying to force
once.
a woman or anybody
From what
into a
I've
situation.
heard, Tony, you wouldn't do a threesome.
I seen another dude's meat.
Oh,
No, that's a train. That's a train, Tony.
That's a train.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
okay.
All right, Pimp C, I hear you.
I know. I'm just saying, if things happen, you know, things happen.
Be a freak once in your life. It's fun.
Just
Gotta live.
Just don't put a thumb up your butt.
And whose butt?
I said his.
Oh yeah, don't do the what supposedly happened with the Indiana Pacer players?
Who?
Y'all remember that? Paul George?
Oh, the catfish thing?
No. Somebody
What
has
was,
a...
what was the center's name from Georgetown that was on that team?
Roy Hibbert.
Y'all don't remember what? I can't. I mean, it's alleged.
Isn't that with Tiana Trump?
It was alleged.
Oh, she was messing around with the whole. Yeah, I remember we talked about.
But the
Melvin,
thing-
please continue.
The hint was how it was suggested was.
Melvin's like, oh yeah, those are some crazy times.
No,
Crazy
Mel-
time.
Wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah, Melvin, go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I think you know more about it.
I think you.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know Tiana, whoever she is, about until like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
basically,
the porn star.
from what I can recollect, she was like messing with a couple of the Pacers around that
Yeah,
point
she
in time.
had an interview. I forgot with who, and they asked her, and she was like, "I was 16, hooking up with an Indiana Pacer," and like,
We talked.
she took like video or something, or he took video.
Passing around, showing the other dudes.
No, like she kept everything confidential, but she's like, if I wanted to, I could burn his ass with this kind of thing.
Right, because I think he was trying to show the other players so that they could hook up with her too, or something.
Well,
like
what?
And she said one of the guys that was like fooling around, like had no interest in women whatsoever, but it was keeping up a facade.
I do remember
He was
that
using
interview.
her
Yeah.
stuff to hit up the dude.
And she was like he was trying to hack her stuff to get stuff on the guys that she was hooking up with.
That's not what
Yeah.
I heard, and this is alleged.
That
and
wasn't-
rumors.
yeah.
It was that basically a train was being ran, and someone's member slipped into the wrong place.
Oh, shit.
And it not on her.
hello.
Yeah, and that's
How does that slip?
Yo, buddy, you're a stop too early.
that team was never the same.
It's not a slip.
Ooh,
That's crazy.
You're the next stop.
Hold up. The team that could have taken Miami Heat LeBron James out was stopped because of a slipped member.
Well, to be fair, if
Think about that.
Paul George
If you
didn't
wanted
leave,
wait, pass me that ball. Shit, fucking eat my ass.
that very act changed. That very act changed the landscape of NBA history. Wow. How many stories out there like that in the NBA?
thanks a lot,
Probably
Tiana
so
Trump.
many.
How many narratives?
Probably
have changed?
so
Wait,
many.
Roy Hibbert never played the same.
He forgot how to play basketball.
He did.
I bet he did. Let somebody poke you. Yo, forget a lot of shit.
I ain't playing on this team anymore.
Hello. How you into the locker room? You're like, I fucked him.
How you doing, Roy?
hey, y'all. I fucked both of them.
Oh no.
You see how sexist this shit is not to do, but with a lady it wouldn't be funny. Because if a guy accidentally penetrated
Man rape.
woman, we would be
Man
like,
rape.
damn, how dare he actually do some shit like that? A dude actually get penetrated is
Dave Chappelle said that. Man rape is funny.
It is.
That's sad.
It is.
Sad.
So sad.
That's
No, we're
sad.
not talking about boy rape. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Man rape.
Oh, that's
We have to use the hard R
said boy
so
rape,
much.
You was trying to get jokes.
No, man, no. Boy rape is terrible. Terrible.
I think rape is bad, Tony.
yeah.
Let's start there.
I hear that R and it's
Yeah.
But it is funny. It is because again, it's just sexist. All right, D and Davis the flippity. Mike Tyson's 4K a month weed habit. Former heavyweight champ who owns a cannabis resort located in California City admitted to the latest episode of the Hot Boxing podcast that he and his team have been puffing about $40,000 worth of marijuana a month. What we do
good
smoke,
strain.
said, what we do smoke a month. Tyson asked co-host Eben Britton. He said it's like 40,000 a month. That's crazy.
How is that even possible?
I mean, you gotta have a lot
It's
of
a
people.
strain.
out. But if it's a cannabis, because also I think he's building a business that's supposed to make people more acceptable. And I don't know.
He's building his weed ranch out,
weed empire.
his weed Disneyland out in California.
So if you're running a weed Disneyland, then I can see how you can get to 40K in weed. Because you got to think he's got
yeah, but that's not open yet.
He has different samples of everything. So,
But he's also going to be probably getting a discount on what people are trying to get in to try to be a part of his
good point.
thing.
But does he get it in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Like, or is it wholesale wise? Is it when?
Plus,
the
he
money
probably
starts moving?
owns whatever legal growing there is to supply that.
But I mean, think about it. If he owns it, then how would he be? I mean, he could be just saying I own it, but we still smoke 40K a month.
Well, I think that's what he's saying. It's like, I own it. This is how much we smoke, which is equivalent to 40,000.
Listen, that's too much fucking weed.
Right.
I'm sorry. I mean,
40,000.
I'm not the weed hater around here, but for someone who does not dislike weed, that's too much motherfucking weed. All right.
And speaking of Tyson, I heard him on a local sports radio show. I heard him on a local sports radio show in Los Angeles, and the host asked him if weed was legal back then during your boxing career. Would you have smoked it? Would you have helped you? He said, hell yes.
Did you see Nate Diaz smoking the CBD joint before the fight that takes place tonight? They had the presser this week. And he was up
I
there.
didn't see it.
It was CBD, so it's not hallucinogenic. It's just supposed to help your body heal and stuff like that, even though it's still a carcinogen. So it's not healthy to smoke in general.
Yeah, Tyson, what you're saying, but this was the stuff was legal back then. It definitely would have helped his career. Maybe it would have prolonged it, and he wouldn't have any issues. That's what, according to him, what he said.
It wouldn't have, because once Cuss was gone, Mike stopped moving his head. Yeah. And once he stopped, like when he became, I'm standing right in front of you, it was, especially with those bigger fighters, longer, taller fighters, it was a wrap. It was like once he stopped. Then when we also know old Mike Tyson, like when you used to see like the In Living Color stuff, and they'd be like, yeah. But when what they're showing you and creating is he was slipping and moving.
Yeah, he was.
Mike Tyson out of jail was just trying to knock you out and headhunting. But when he was younger, his defense and how he didn't stay in front of you. He was moving crazy around. He was going to lose. It was not. And then also he didn't fight. No, there was no real names when he was coming.
Right.
There weren't names until he went to, because him and Holyfield was supposed to fight before he went to jail. That was the fight. But Buster Douglas derailed that.
Right.
That was the fight. Holyfield had come up from cruiserweight. He was a heavyweight now. We were all waiting for that. I was a kid. It was like, you knew it. Because that was, HBO was pumping both of them. I remember this.
And that's when the boxing industry went to pay-per-view back then, too. That's what killed that sport.
I remember this dude that Holyfield fought, and he was like, he said he lost. He may have lost on the card. And he was like, the only reason I lost because they want the Tyson Holyfield fight. Holyfield out of that generation was the only person, but Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, they were gonna fuck him up for real.
That was his biggest fight, right, Lewis?
The Holyfield one was probably the most important because by the time
did
he
they have
fought
that?
Lewis, we knew it was a wrap. It wasn't even because Holyfield already beaten him, and Lennox was in his prime. And Lennox was just collecting a check. To be honest with you,
D and Davis the flip.
Dad throws himself in front of Wolf attacking his family before Good Samaritan hears their scream. A New Jersey family's idyllic Canadian camping trip quickly turned into a nightmare after they brutally attacked by a wolf in their sleep. Going back to our "you shouldn't be camping" subject. What? It's not part of "you should be camping" subject?
No, it's just I don't know if we should not be camping.
Yeah, okay, this is why you shouldn't be out there, especially you out there with no weapons. See, my thing is, if I'm out there, the hammer's around.
The semi-automatics.
Something. I'm not playing out there just naked. You may as well not have no clothes on in that motherfucker. All right.
Naked and afraid.
It was something out of a horror movie. Eliza Rispoli revealed on Facebook recounting a terrifying incident. The family in the Banff National Park in Alberta when the wild animal ripped apart their tent around 1 a.m. last Friday. Going back to what we were saying a couple weeks ago. Alyssa explained that her husband Matthew bravely swung into action and he threw his body in front of me and the boys, unlike what Dee would do. As he shielded his wife and children, you wouldn't. You said you'd take off. You said I'm up. You said my natural reaction was this.
I said the missus would take off.
Oh, you said it a little bit. You didn't know if you would take off yourself.
I probably would.
Okay. All right. As he shielded his wife and child, the wolf bit through his arm and hands. Elisa shared. We're screaming for help, and as he was fighting it and trying to save us for what felt like an eternity, but I think it was anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, she continued. The situation intensified by the moment, as Elisa then revealed, I laid my body on top of my kids, and Matt pinned the wolf to the ground and held to open his jaw with his hands. The wolf then began to drag Matthew away. Them mugs are strong.
Damn.
When Lisa holding on to his legs, trying to get him back. I cannot, and I do not think I will ever be able to properly describe that terror. Lisa continued. That's when a man whom Elisa called their guardian angel came to rescue after hearing their screams. She said that the man came over to our site and kicked the wolf and finally let go of Matt. He said they continued to throw rocks at the wolf. Listen. As I said, see, you left this. I needed you to be here because we had a debate. Because he's like, I grew up camping. I was like, black people don't camp like that. It's not. It's not. Urban people in urban environments don't go camping like that. Were you here that week? I think you weren't here. You were here. Do you camp?
No.
You camp? you camp? Okay. D.
They the same family.
They in two different parts of the damn family. That's not that for urban blacks. That's not a natural thing for us to just go out into the woods where anything can attack me.
We went camping,
and you admit a wolf.
Good for you, D.
A wolf drug day. All I'm saying is had a heater. The wolf would have been done that shit to me. That wolf would have been wolf meat.
It depends on where you camping at.
Okay. Listen, you know what?
There's
two things out. I'm gonna tell you two things about camping and why you should have a heater, regardless of any area. Animals, men. I think that means the heat is going everywhere.
But the most thing that you would probably come across is raccoons. We have raccoons in the city.
No. I'm not worried about if I'm out and this thin little.
We need to go camping for. You got a backyard.
Damn.
Tony, you don't ever want to go out
backyard
and be a part of nature?
It's more than your backyard.
Isn't outside nature?
Yeah.
Just go outside the backyard.
Tony, don't you want to enjoy the fruits
not
of
the
God's
same.
labor
Exactly.
out on
Get
the
out more.
country?
In the
It's not the
backyard.
same.
You don't go camping. How you gonna tell him to get out?
You can still go to the places without going camping.
I've been to.
I can go. I like going on walks.
Look, a hike is fine, but after that,
But
shit, we
yeah,
go back
going
to the
home.
hotel.
That ain't a real.
I love walking on a treadmill.
And
It's
that's not
terrific.
real hiking.
Oh,
Starved Rock is not a real hike.
which path did you take?
I took some actual path fast.
I don't know. You
Some more. No. Some when we got out there was kind of like, oh shit, Grace can't be on this. No, we actually went across some trails and it was kind of like, damn, this is a little bit more than we expect.
You can die.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
Isn't that the fun of it?
What do you mean? Like it's not a hike? Is what? I'm sorry. What
No,
do you
it's
mean?
not like an actual mountain kind of hike.
Oh,
it
yeah,
ain't
no.
Grand Canyon.
No, but it's still a hike. It's like every hike doesn't have to be where we're going through. What are you doing?
I don't know what that is.
I'm watching the camera on this.
Oh.
Just shake it.
You doing?
You throwing us off?
I'm like, what gang is that?
Look out! Camping.
No. I definitely think, Tony. I think everyone should go camping at least once.
Why?
I had no problem with that.
It's
I'm just saying,
experience.
click clack.
It's experience. Listen. I'm not saying, Tony, go camp where it's like nothing around you. I ain't saying go camp in like the Smoky Mountains. I ain't saying that.
Don't go to Yellowstone.
Don't go to Yellowstone.
But go to where there's random people you don't know gonna be around you.
Well, that's just
Because you can trust them.
That's people.
I will buy you on the heater with the man thing. I've heard too many horror stories with that. Where you talk about campsite murders.
Oh, so you buy me on the heater when a man, you never know who's out there, even when you think it's
I don't have a
desolate.
problem with your heater.
Okay.
I have a problem with the lack of camping thing.
I don't camp. I don't have a pistol right now, so how am I gonna go camping?
You don't need a pistol going
Yes, you
camping.
do.
No, you don't.
You love your family?
No, you don't.
Just bring a knife.
See,
No.
that's too close.
Dude, you can go to the Dells.
I can't kill a bear with a fucking knife.
A bear.
Fucking bear is up here.
Yeah, what bear?
So why
bear's
I
up
gotta
here.
wait? Why I gotta camp here? If
Where
I'm
you
a
wanna
camp,
go?
if
Where you
I do
wanna
my
go?
What
shit,
are
I
you
do
talking
my
about?
shit
You don't
there.
even want to camp, and you're going to go to the ends of the earth to
know.
camp?
I said I don't want to camp. I said one, it's not something that we do because he implied that a large percentage of us do, and I was like, no.
I think there's more percentage of people, black people, that go camping than you expect. I think it's more.
Can I get a number on that? A percentage.
17.
That's about. I'm right
No.
there. I'm right.
Out of the total pop?
Yeah.
Oh, it's way higher than that.
It's way higher than that.
That motherfucker probably at 10%.
No.
I hit you at 17.
No.
What'd you say? Give him the mic.
I don't know any black people that ever said they went camping.
And that's guy.
Well, no, I clarified. Are you saying all people, or are we talking
We're
just...
talking about black people.
Okay. I asked all people, it's way higher than 17.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay,
This debate was on blacks.
I'm clarifying.
Black? No. I think.
Can I clarify?
I think you'd be surprised how many black people go camping.
I wouldn't. That 10% was shot. I'd be like, oh, you one of them.
Anything over
you
one.
think 10% would be
You're
high to you?
17. I'm with the 7. It's not like 25. It's not 20.
It's not a quarter?
No, look, and I'm talking about, and I'm not just talking about like, yeah, my son was at the 4-H camp. And I meant like
Camping.
Yeah, like family,
camping.
kind of like more family.
I grew up. We grew up.
What are we
camping.
doing this for?
We grew up camping. We saw a lot of
What
black
do you mean,
folks.
For
camping?
yourself.
Yeah.
For yourself, Tony.
We grew up camping. We saw a lot of black people out there camping. We did.
Where was this?
We
at?
did.
Where was this place?
What was it? In Wisconsin? Was it Indiana? Now, this is not like we in fucking Montana.
And that's a big
Now, you
difference.
talking about like y'all got like a trailer thing out there?
No, tents.
Y'all got tents?
Tent, yeah.
How many people was out there in general? Give me a number.
Oh, quite a few.
Everybody.
The biggest place we ever went to that had the most people was probably Starved Rock. And we had quite a few people out there in Starved Rock. Quite a few people.
I just want to see it.
Yeah.
It's 2019. We're
Yeah.
Tony.
No, I'm telling you, dude. You'd be surprised.
You don't want to open
You'd
your
be
tent
surprised.
up, see the bounty
Look,
of the
I-
land,
look, I-
have a nice cup of coffee.
I work downtown. I see the people that camp.
God damn it, Tony. Wow.
Who are the people that camp?
Wow.
Put a name. Put a name on it. Put a name on it.
Thank you, Ryan. No, I
Camping don't look fun to me.
I think you'd be surprised. I'm telling you.
I'll make sure to ask.
I
him.
bet you I'll be like, pull him
Ask
out.
who?
That should be like, clack, 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 clack. I'm like, ah. All right, last one.
All right, last one. Dean Davis the flip.
Cajun coach pushed players to donate for unity after saying earlier this week that it would be a mandatory for from here on out for all scholarship players to become dues paying members of the school's booster club at a minimum of $50. Louisiana Raging Cajun coach Bill Napier clarified on ESPN Friday that players would not be mandated to do so. I realize it's become a national story and that a lot of people don't understand what we're trying to do, but we view it as more of a living life with gratitude and education with our guys' importance and investing in other people, Napier told ESPN. That's kind of the program we want to have here, and that's been a zero resistance from the player. Napier, a former assistant coach at Alabama, who is now his second season with Louisiana, said in a news conference Wednesday that the Raging Cajuns Athletic Foundation memberships were mandatory and that the school then issued a statement suggesting players were simply strongly encouraged to join. On Friday, Napier said the purpose of the program was to create awareness about the considerable undertakings of raising scholarship money for student athletes. He said he discussed the idea with the athletic director, and the players understand that the minimal level of donation of $50 is not required to be part of the football team. He said the school matches whatever the players want to donate, and that every member of the coaching staff is also joined the booster club. He said that if they can't afford to come up with $50 or don't want to join for any reason, they know they can come to me privately and there's no problem. Okay. I get that. Me, when I first saw that, I think I'm going to just start cursing on Twitter. Because putting a star there don't make sense. But I was like, something to the point, I'm like, fuck this shit. What the fuck is this shit? Right? Like, when I first saw this, dude makes, I believe, if not $150,000, it's a little bit more than that. And these players, they have a scholarship, cool. But we all know how tight their pockets are in college.
Right.
And you're already asking players that can't work because they're on the football team that they need to come up with $50 to give you when you're supposed to be paying them for the service they provide for you. And you're basically saying, I want to cut that little bit of money from that, what I'm giving you. And again, it goes to the thing like with us with Dabo, the egos on these college coaches is fucking ridiculous. I'm a Nick Saban guy, and he don't do this shit, but he do some shit that I don't care for. And I'll say it even though I'm a fan of Alabama. But for dude to come out and initially say this and talk, what he was saying too earlier was that it's a privilege to be at this school and that basically we want people, the guys that we want are the guys that put in for this. This is what he was implying. And we also know the power of a head coach. A head coach controls your scholarship. He controls the amount of playing time that you have. He controls if pros can actually see you because he can keep you off of the field. You're going to do what your coach wants you to do.
Right.
Like that's just, you can imply that it's not mandatory, but they know basically it's mandatory because initially you said it was. The only reason you pull back is because it became a national story.
Yeah, it's freaking trash. I mean, they are the athletic department. Let's be real. Who's bringing in the money at Louisiana? It's the football team, and that's it. Yep. And they got to be the ones that pay to create some kind of environment. Like, what?
While they're getting their head bashed in.
Right. And they're ones putting in that hours, like you talked about, hours and hours. Because there's no off season.
No, not if
you're training right away.
You may get, look, you may get what? I don't know if that's something, if they get 3 weeks maybe to go home. They may get 2. Yeah. And then you got to have the money to get home.
Yeah. As soon as the new year rolls around, it's right back to training for August.
Sounds like an old school fashion hustle to me.
It's even worse than that. Because it's at least with a hustle, I'm not paying you to do, I'm not giving you something for your services. I'm just trying to get this money up out of you. This is a thing where we all know players should get paid. And this guy's sitting there using his influence to not just force them to play, all right, and of course they want to play, but also using it to sit there and take something from them because he wants them to kind of be in this type of vein of the person that he thinks individuals they need to necessarily be. But again, if you're trying to get to the pros, it's the only thing you can do. I mean, think about it. If you're at Louisiana, you probably didn't want to go there. Like, well, I don't know much about racial Cajun football because all I know is LSU. All right, and what's the other one with the what's the Louisiana State or Tech? Which one?
Yeah, both.
Tech.
With the women's basketball team.
Tech, right?
It's in cursive and blue. Which one is that?
Louisiana A and something.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I know how I want to be there.
Which one did Peanut Tillman go to? Was it Louisiana Tech?
Lafayette.
He definitely went to Tech.
That was Lafayette something.
Oh, it might have been Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah, that's probably the other one.
Yeah. It was one or the other. It's Louisiana. How big of an impact they making in Chicago?
But just the thinking that you're teaching lessons part is probably like my thing with that. It's like, no, it's just that coach's general awareness about the world is ridiculous. And I get when these schools want to hire the best candidate they can find, a guy that's all about football and winning and, doing whatever it takes to win and stuff. And it's like these guys, a lot of these guys don't have an accurate perception of, one, their position, two, their player's position, and just then the world in general and how it is in the world and how unfair the system is. Mm-hmm. Now, you can operate in this unfair system, but don't double down on the injustice, though.
Great point. That's a great point.
Yeah. No. I think y'all.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. No. I think y'all got everything down pat.
I just don't get why all these football coaches like want to like keep on that old way of thinking, like sacrifice everything for the team and take pride in your uniform. It's like, dude, you're gonna leave first chance you can if you get the chance. Like, what are you talking about? We all know what the truth is.
I think players would react better with that type of honesty instead of skirting around it. That's why I'm interested in seeing what does Nick Saban go in and tell a kid, that he's trying to recruit, or Dabo.
I'll get you in the first round.
Right. That's an exchange.
But you better not kneel.
That's an exchange. I can get you to the pros or help you get to the pros. That's an understanding of hey, I'll sacrifice me, ruining my body for you for this amount of time for the chance of making money in the back end. But all 1,000 other coaches that knowing that this kid isn't going to the pros, what is it? What are you presenting in this unfair justice?
You want to get an education for free, quote unquote, for free. That's basically all they can do. Outside of maybe there's a chance, we had those 3 players that made it in the last decade. You could be the 4th.
Yeah.
This is as much money as we got.
D. and Davis to flippity.
All right. So last thing I want to touch on is came across on Twitter, and we got to bring this in house. Sydney Brown. How did the courting of the female White Sox fan base, how did that go with your ticket giveaway not too long ago? How did they go?
Unfortunately, it did not go well.
Oh, shit.
It did not go well.
Oh. Well, if anybody want to know, listen, Sydney has, you have like a 14-pack ticket?
No, I buy them offline.
All right. So Sydney was throwing it out there like, listen, everybody. Ladies, if y'all want to go to the White Sox game with Sydney, that's definitely an option. You know what I'm saying? He threw it out there, kind of like an invite. Would you consider this kind of like an internet dating kind of a thing?
I was just finding if someone wanted to go, they can go.
All right.
That's how I present it out there.
I mean, no.
But if the action happened, you would have to. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
When he brought
no,
it up,
you tweeted it out. Sid tweeted it out like, whoa, okay.
But see, when I read it, I skimmed it. I didn't see that it said a lady. I thought you were just saying you had a freak. That's what I thought. Yeah. Until he was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, it said that or whatever. Mm-hmm. Did you get replies from it?
I didn't.
Did at least a guy say y'all?
No.
Did you
get
a ticket?
Female?
Did you get a ticket to somebody?
I didn't give it. I had to eat it, but the person that was supposed to go with me, something happened to that to a parent in that person's family. So, right. but the person did tell me that they will reimburse me. So I said okay. Right. But I was trying up until last minute, but I didn't get any response.
But you did say you have some followers out there that do talk to you at the White House game. So how was that going when you go out there?
Well, this was different from that. So
no. I'm just saying in general.
The Mackin is separate.
I know that. But I'm just saying in general, you have followers that do reach out to you when you go to the White Sox game. How is that? How is that?
Oh, actually, the conversation was nice. It was just general talking. There was a couple of them, actually all of them. There was about 3 of them that I met for the first time and whatever. So nice. we just kicked in the social Sox social the lounge up there down in the first level. And we just as the kids would say, we chopped it up.
There you go.
Sid, did you send out a DM to any individuals? I feel like ladies have to be courted.
I believe one I did. One, that's it. Just one.
Because I don't know if girls would go for the open ticket necessarily. Maybe if it was Cubs. White Sox, I don't know.
Damn.
Come on, don't give me that face.
As if everybody can see Ken's face right now.
I think you can get a free ticket. Somebody to go to any popular.
I'm not saying you can't get it, but what's more appealing in the city of Chicago when it comes to the female baseball fan? Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not it. It's just I'm not gonna get he's not gonna say something bad about me, so I'm done with it. You're not putting Davis in this one. I get tired of being used.
Why?
Hey, you can rock with that.
That's why your name's in the show.
Yeah, I know. I'm not touching it.
No,
Like
no.
I didn't even know the subject was coming up.
I wanted to see how they kind of turn out because Sid threw it out there. I was like, all right, cool. We got to see how it turns out.
We have to keep our listeners updated.
Yeah, we got to see how.
Remember the person that did bring this shit up.
I know.
me.
And the one that wants to continue going.
I just want to see.
Davis, I'm not touching the shit.
I didn't know about this either. So
No.
What did you turn into the martyr over here?
I do. With him, occasionally I do, even though he blasts me, but not putting it on me.
No, I wanted to see how it turned out. You threw it out there. I wanted to see. All right, did you have a good time? Because I don't know. Because the pictures that you put out there, you typically before the game starts. I want to try to see exactly.
I'll say this much, to be honest with you.
We didn't have internet.
You got to get a girl
This
that really enjoys baseball on either side of town.
Very true.
And then it's also, if you know, to be honest though, that may be a hard pull. If you, because like one, I'm gonna give you this ticket. Are you gonna stay there for the whole game? Because the baseball game is long as hell to be there with somebody you don't know.
True.
I mean, for real.
Yeah,
you
true.
sitting like y'all gotta chop it up.
That's right.
Think about what you do with your friends. Like I'll go to a baseball game with my friends, and I would look at the game half the time.
Right.
It's like you're talking, you're chopping it up. So you're asking someone.
You got to worry about like parking, getting in,
Exactly. So
everything
like
that.
I think even on the north side, there's no parking. Am I picking you up? You Ubering? You got to pay for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, please. It's more attractive.
That's not the point that I'm making. I don't think it's an easy sell what he tried to do, is what I'm trying to say.
I'll agree with that.
I don't think us getting, because, I mean, one, if a girl loves baseball, she already probably got a ticket anyway. If that's her thing.
Yeah, but you got to remember the drinking element too, a part of this.
He's not saying, I'm going to give you free tickets. Here, it's 2 free tickets. You and your girl go do something. He's saying, you're going to be sitting there with me, regardless if it's a date or not. We're going to be chopping it up. Like, that's asking a lot of someone.
That is.
So that's what I'm saying about either in general. Like, it's asking a lot. And I mean, we all know those seats are both sides of town. You up on each other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Big 3 is on TV right now. It's on CPS. They are promoting E&J.
Irk and Jerk.
Irk and Jerk.
And this is what y'all watch.
Wow. I don't think
The official spirit of the Big 3.
I have never seen a commercial for E&J before until right now.
I think I probably.
I have drunk it many a times back in my younger years.
What is E&J?
Irk and Jerk.
Irk and
is what we
Jerk.
used to name.
That's what we
it.
What is it?
It's what, cognac or is it brandy? It's bad. It's hard.
It's bottom of the barrel.
You better get some Coke.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't
almost
mean to
threw
blow.
up just thinking.
Damn.
Well, that would help too.
You can't if you drink E&J. I've drunk. I almost got.
VSOP E&J.
I got assaulted the one night drinking the clear.
shit.
I'm not doing the story today. We had enough
You want
kid
another
story time.
Yeah.
Me and my guy had a bottle of E&J clear. He ain't even drank. That day we had probably had about eight blunts to the head, and we had a whole bottle. These girls brought this bottle of E&J and we killed it. And this girl fucking sexually assaulted me that night. Oh damn. E&J. Don't fuck with it unless you want to get assaulted.
Man, and you have no sympathy for dude that gets his pants pulled out.
The drink of female abusers. It's personally sponsored by women that take advantage of men.
Irk and Jerk. I've never seen a commercial.
Man, that's the best story you
think
have.
life is easy?
I want that story.
No, I'm not doing story time.
All right. Hey, make sure you follow us on Twitter at D and Davis Show. Once again, it's at D and Davis Show. Facebook.com/D and Davis Show. iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Music, Stitcher, the TuneIn app, WARR on Anchor, in case you over to Spotify and YouTube.
We were definitely back with D and Davis' show, dropping on you on Wednesday. Definitely getting more football centric as we get closer into the season. So that'll be more of our focus. I'm sure Brian's gonna book some excellent guests. Definitely appreciate you listening. We appreciate for the whole crew. We haven't had this many people here. Even Guy made it. I was hoping Guy was going to make it. Josh made it from out in the burbs. Melvin made it all the way from NY. We got Tony for the whole show because he's just too important.
Yeah.
Tony can't leave, Tony.
Tony been dipped by now.
And I am hungry.
And no root beer?
And D, like, get your own root beer. Only D. If you want it, bring it.
I had one for
This is a booze only
You
house.
haven't had anything for me yet. I had to bring my own own liquor. What? You can have root beer for him.
You don't drink beer no more.
I know. So what? I can't get a bottle of wine?
You want some tequila?
Okay, and I'm gonna drink whiskey later on.
All right then.
But yeah, I am. But I'm just gonna be. It's almost 5:30. About 6:30, I'm gonna start dipping into the whiskey. You know what I drank real quick?
What's up?
Have you had the hard waters yet? The hard seltzer waters?
Oh yeah,
I had some.
Yeah, they're not tasty. But when you're in my situation,
they get the job done.
They make you tired though.
Real quick, how's the keto diet going?
I think I plateaued, so I think the alcohol is getting in the way.
Yeah,
no, but you can
enjoy that
no,
whiskey.
You can be in ketosis. You can be in ketosis with alcohol because I don't drink sugary drinks.
Okay.
I only drink wine and these tequila, rum, gin, whiskey. There's no sugar in it.
Okay.
So, but still, it prevents me from getting like my ketosis is moderate. I'm not in the two highest levels, so I'm just going to kick it for a while so I get to the two highest levels. Right. But I mean, for me, it was more about discipline. So I've been gaining weight dining on Mexican food once or twice a week, and if I needed,
you've been gaining weight.
That's what I've been gaining weight over the last. I haven't been active in 2 years. Basically.
Oh, I was talking about since you've been doing the keto diet.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've lost weight.
All right, cool.
But still, it helped me, and that was the reason I did it, so I could put some discipline on myself. Mm-hmm. So it was just, I still can eat meat, but it allows me to I can't have bread, I can't have rice, sugar, or any of that type of stuff, which is good. And plus, I was eating, when you get older, it's funny how your palate changes. I've been killing sugar for the last 2 years at home late at night. It's not even during the day usually. At home late at night, I'll get into a sugar binge because I got sugar right next to me. I needed that to stop, and I needed something to happen. I needed to do something before something bad happened. So that's really the good point about it. So instead of me having to go to the hospital and them forcing me to do something, it just was like, I'm tired and I'm ready to do something. So for right now, I'm going to do it I think off and on I'm going to do it forever perhaps, but I don't see me stopping shit in months. I'm not stopping.
Just like real quick, just like the story I told about the soda a few years ago. I watched that program on PBS. Dr. Mark Hyman talked about sugar is addictive, as much as addictive as crack. I never touched drugs in my life, but the sugar, it is addictive. Yes, like I said, I haven't had pop since. If I drink, I'll drink every once in a blue moon, but I don't miss that at all. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
Pop isn't that difficult to let go once you let go of it.
Exactly. I know this statement is very simple, but it's true. If you, like you say, stay disciplined, it's only one day at a time. And then once you get used to it, like you say, you don't miss that at all.
Some people do, though.
I mean, I can. But
if you're heavily addicted to sugar, that's going to be a problem.
I used to drink rum and Cokes like them shits was going out of style.
Yeah, but you probably weren't crazy addicted to sugar. Like some people become dependent on it, like crack.
You're right. So it's been going fine. I can do better with it. I try to add in workouts and not just use the keto as I'm aging and trying to get better. Part of the reason I didn't have some stuff this morning, I had a workout this morning, and I had the kids after, I had to go to work on a Saturday. So I didn't have time to focus on this like I usually do. By the time my brother came and got my kids, it was almost time for me to come here. Yeah. But so I'm just trying to be healthier. Why not? Why not? It's my body. I got I have a family. I don't have parents. I have my mother, but I don't have the people to be there for my kids. So I got to live a long time. Yeah. So I got to make sure that in my history, my family, men die in their 50s, maybe 60, but in their 50s. And I want to be here till I'm in my 80s and 90s. So
we all do.
That's that. But I don't want to be all fucked up. So I think one more time, I want to lose. I think one more time I want to be yoked and lose, because I have to lose, even if with a lot of muscle. You don't want to be an old man with a lot of muscle. Like, that's not the way you don't want to be carrying around tons and tons of muscle. I want to be fit and look good, but I don't need to be.
Plus, you get the old man strength kick in.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be fighting nobody. My days of fighting hopefully are over.
Listen, and the gym I got down here in the crib is always open. If y'all want to come down and work out with me, come work out.
The only problem with your gym is the hours.
That's true. I told Tony, he's on like
crack of dawn.
I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, listen, man. You know, you wanna
to get something, you gotta give up something.
You wanna live? You wanna live? Mm-hmm. Let's go, Tony. You wanna live? You wanna live? Mm-hmm. Live. Yeah. Lock it, dog. Lock it, dog.
But anyway, we definitely appreciate everyone that's listening to us. Please keep rocking with us. If you have any suggestions, we're open to suggestion. If you have any subjects that you would like us to discuss that should be discussed on here before it gets too crass or too nasty, shoot us some topics. What's the email, D?
DNDavisShow@gmail.com. DNDavisShow@gmail.com.
And also, he always gives you the Twitter handle, so you already know that.
At DN Davis Show.
So shout out to the crew. We definitely appreciate it. And don't do anything stupid before you hear from us again.
Send them home. We gone.
Keep your hands to yourself.
The Flip.